Did we go?
I think we're live. I have no idea.
Okay, finally, it worked. Hey! Ugh. Everyone, hello, kids and cubs. Today, it is Gremlins Day. It is Gremlins Day here. But welcome, kids and cubs, to the monthly True North Eager Beaver PubCast, live from the Mr. Grizzly.
The Lieutenant's Pump at 361 Elgin Street in beautiful downtown Ottawa.
Yes. And as you can see, unfortunately, I am not there today. I am still at the Beaver Lodge because, well, we'll talk about it in the show. But in some way, I've had a slightly frustrating week where a lot of things that could go wrong have gone wrong. But fortunately, it seems not as bad as we thought that they could be. So, getting through it, but a lot of moments. So yes, I am over here, and Mr. Grizzly is over there, and our original plans. Well, actually, before we go there, big thank you goes to our podcast founding sponsors, the Pepper Master, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvin Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. Today is Saturday, April 20th, 2024. So happy 420 to all of those who are, I guess we will say, observing the occasion. Hope you have a wonderful day. Yes. And we've had yeah, interesting. Okay, whoa, okay, yeah, that's much better. I'm much less red now. Thank you. Just wanted to thank the kids and cubs there for being patient and sticking with us. Mr. Grizzly has been working very hard to get this show together because we had an original plan and we weren't able to do that. And the original plan was for later today. So we tried to bump it up because continuing at the same time, starting at a 4 or 5 o'clock time, at the pump itself was not going to allow for a long show, a typical pub show, because, well, the Leafs are playing tonight. It's playoff season, right?
Exactly.
And about an hour before the match time or something, it gets so loud in there that we can't hear each other when we do that. So we would have had to only have about a 2-hour show. So we tried to bump it up. Let's say Wi-Fi was not cooperating at first, but it seems to be going now. So, Mr. Grizzly,
Well,
how's your mental health been?
It's a little more than that. So initially, we tried to plan today to take place at Meow That's Hot. I don't know if you can hear or see me right now.
Yep.
We're going to do it at Meow That's Hot. That was the plan. And logistically, it wasn't going to work out, unfortunately. So I spoke to the host, and I'm going to see him later this evening to make arrangements to do it next month from Meow That's Hot. It'll start later in the evening. We'll start 1 hour before showtime. We'll be able to interview and have some interaction with the guests, or the artists, I should say, the recording artists, the musicians. And then we're going to live stream their whole show. So it'll be a slightly different show for us because we won't really be the focus that day, which is okay. We'll be the hosts of a music show. It's something we're going to try. It'll be a new thing. So it'll be a variation of the PubCast, if you will. And today, it just logistically, I couldn't make it happen. the artist, the host Ted, I spoke to him, and he's like, "That's cool. Let's do it next month. Come by this evening. We'll have a good look, logistically, see how we can get everything set up, and what requirements are, Wi-Fi, power wise, that sort of thing." I said, "Okay, no problem." So then I get here and I get everything set up, and the last thing I'm looking for is the power cord for the computer. Found it, plug it in, fire everything up. Okay, everything looks good. Everything looks good. I can hear myself. I can hear my mic. I've got levels good. Then I realize I can't hear Mr. Beaver because for some reason it doesn't see my mixer. Well, it turns out that this mixer, once you plug it into one port on the USB, it always has to plug into the same port, because if it doesn't recognize it. It works that way on Windows machines and it works that way on Mac machines. I cannot explain that for the life of me. It's completely bizarre. Universal serial bus. Plug it in. It's a bus. It sees it. No, it has to go into the same port each and every time. And if you don't do it, it don't work. So that's why we were late, because I was struggling to get audio. Anyway, we're here now. We're going to try and give you the best possible show we can. I'm a little flustered at the moment, but yeah, that's okay. I can power through. How about yourself, Mr. Beaver? How are you doing?
I am doing well now because
Okay.
about would have been maybe 15 minutes before going on air, but now a little later, about an hour ago, I got some really good news. So, which removed a lot of stress off me. Um, so, one of the
Okay, that's
reasons
good.
that I will tell you sit down, kits and cubs, around the campfire, and I will tell you my sordid tale of woe. Uh, uh, as we talked on the show, right? We're doing home renovations, and we found out that we had asbestos. And so we've shopped around. We had a asbestos abatement company, and by making sure that we got several quotes, we had a company that we wanted to work with, but they came in a little higher, and we said, well, we got these quotes for this. Could you do it for that? They did, which ends up being about a 25% saving from the original quote, which is good. Um, and then it was to coordinate with the people who are doing the abatement and the people that are doing the siding, so that the side of the house isn't exposed for too long, right? To the elements. So we had all that happen, and they came in, they gave a date, and they said that the date could be uh, this coming Monday. Well, Beaver Sweetie and I had plans to be coming to Ottawa today together and staying until about Wednesday, because we had a couple of things that we have to do. My nephew is playing in a volleyball tournament the following week there, and we're going to come and watch him. And some people are going to stay at my place, so we wanted to make sure that we give it a good go over, because since COVID since COVID has happened, it has not been used as much as it has. So a lot of the dust bunnies are probably big enough to be biting your ankles. So we wanted to make sure that we give it a good go over. And then as we were looking through other parts of the renovations, we had to go downstairs, and then we looked, and we at the foundation, and for some reason we had leaves in the basement. Well, not the basement, the crawl space. Lots and lots and lots and lots of leaves. So my Beaver Sweetie went around, and turns out that we have literal. The reason why our house leaks, the air circulates, I said something like 24 times an hour instead of just 3. There are literally chunks missing out of the foundation on the bottom. So right now he's actually mixing up some mortar. Try to. So we were sitting there and we thought, oh my Lord, it's like another multi-thousands for the abatement, and now we've got them coming, so let's call the spray foam people. So we have all that coordinated, and it's like, damn, holes in the foundation. Don't tell me we have to call masonry. That's going to be more thousands. And so yesterday we were just like, oh God. So we started doing some research, and we went down to the hardware store, and they were very helpful. And it turns out that is a job that we can do ourselves. Hopefully, I'm not sure actually what type of foundation. This is not my area of expertise whatsoever, but it wasn't. There was an addition built in back, and they basically just dug a hole put those bricks with the holes in, because then puts a, I guess, a 2x4 like this way on top and then built on top. It was I don't think it was up to code. That's what I'll say. There wasn't a pour or anything, right? But yeah, fixing that. So that's happening. So that was a bit of relief. And then uh, again, not terrible things, but your credit card just expires. It runs out. There's an expiration date. Well, that happened, and the new one never arrived. So I used the backup one, and then when I went to use the backup one was on the day I went to order my new glasses, and I went to pay for my new glasses, and it just would not work.
Oh, that sucks.
Or there was absolutely nothing on it, but it would not work. So my Beaver sweetie had to pay for the glasses. And then and I figured, okay, well, that's not a problem. So the next night we were at curling, and that was the match that we won. And at curling, well, the winning team buys the losing team the drink. So I took out my wallet and I'll try it again. It says, um, because the glasses are more than just the tap amount. That's why I had to slip it in, and the pin wasn't working for some reason. It just would not work. And then, so the next day I went to tap, and the tap stopped working because I guess I had tried to enter my PIN 3 times, and the 3 times it was denied.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden I have no credit card. And then yesterday I'm going to buy my bus. Not yesterday, the Thursday I'm going to buy my bus ticket to come here to Ottawa. And for some reason I cannot find my wallet.
So it's just been a cluster of badness lately.
Badness. Went, and the last time I took it is when I did the tap, and because it rained all day Wednesday, did not go out, so did not touch my wallet at all. And Thursday we did go out, but my Beaver sweetie treated, so I did not touch my wallet. So all of a sudden here I am, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Oh, I should have buy that bus ticket before I go to bed. And it's like, where's my every pant pocket, every bag I touched, every pair of pants I wore, checked in the laundry washing machine in case I washed it. Called the curling club. Was it there? No. Called my skip, who I ride back and forth with. Is it there? Searched our car, went everywhere, nowhere.
So just a whole bunch of crap, basically.
But no transactions made on it, right? So it's not like somebody found it and started using it, deactivated all the cards and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm going like, frick, man.
Well, so my bank sent me a new card
club just called and said, yes, that they did have it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. My bank sent me a new card the other day, right? Because my other one's about to expire. Here's the new one. Activate it right away. I activate it right away. There's only one problem. But use at a machine, no problem. Tap with my phone, declined. What do you mean declined? There's money in it. Oh, have to insert the card. I can tap the card. I can't tap my phone. Here's the other issue. I have a bunch of accounts that withdraw automatically from that account based on that card because it's a Visa debit card through my account, my checking account. Well, the new one has a different expiry date. So guess what? Trying to pay some bills and I can't. So I got to go in and reset and put it. And I'm like, this is a royal pain in the ass. It's 2024. The technology exists, so it's a seamless transition. It should automatically update. There's no reason it can't. Instead, I have to spend 4 hours this morning trying to get this shit set up so I can pay people what I owe them, and I'm happy to do it because I have the money to do it. Anyway, that's what I've been up against, just like you, whole bunch of bank card stuff. And we have a special guest in the green room. I'm going to bring him on in. You ready?
Oh, okay. Hey, Kyle. How you doing?
What's going on, everybody?
Nice to see you.
You too. I can't see you guys now. Wonder what happened.
Hold on, I need to turn up.
Well, I'm having some Wi-Fi issues here at the pub right now, so it's kind of a little wonky for me. But hey, brother, if you want to make it down to Lieutenant's Pump, I can set you up here. I got a couple extra mics. If you want to come on by for a beer, happy to buy you a pint or two, and you can hang out with me.
Let me see. Lieutenant's Pub, I am in.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh no, I wasn't
Make
gonna
your way
go.
down, brother.
I,
I know it's.
I'm
I
gonna
know
I'm
it's
gonna look
a
this
little
up
bit
and
of
see how
extra.
long it takes me to get there. Let me see. Let me see. Takes me 51 minutes.
That's cool.
We'll
We're
be
here till
on.
6,
Oh well, I'm
so we
in.
got time, brother.
Okay. Well, I will have some time. I'm actually headed to I'm headed to see Talk tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Juno winner.
yeah, it's at the Bronson Center. I was trying to make my schedule work so I could go and see him because I really want to see that show. But I have another commitment that I have to fulfill for this show. That anyway, it's a future thing. So it depends on how late that goes. What time does the talk starts at? What, 9?
7. I mean, Talk
7.
probably goes on at 9.
Yeah,
Nine,
yeah,
9 to 9:30 probably. As most Ottawa shows do.
yeah. I might be able to
Unless
make that work
Tri-State
then.
ever. What's that?
I might be able to make that work then because I have another commitment after this. I got to tear this down, pack this up, take it home, run over to Meow That's Hot to meet with some other artists, talk about a future show we're going to do a live stream for next month. Uh, Maybe I can make the talk show. Maybe. I'm going to try and see. If I show up a little bit late, that's okay, right? I really
You
want to see him play.
you already have a ticket, right?
No, is it sold out?
It's sold out.
Ah, shit.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
I actually went on the mailing list for him months ago when I found out he was playing and never got an email to say, oh, yeah, tickets are on sale now. Go ahead and buy them. And then I completely it left my mind. And then listening to CBC radio this morning, they were telling me the show was on tonight. I'm like, shit. Oh,
Wow.
well. Well, he's a local guy. I'm sure he'll come back to Ottawa. He's from Stittsville, so I think he'll be back around. But that should be an amazing show, dude.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great. Hey, and plus fresh off a Juno win, so you can't beat that.
Yeah,
You'd
exactly.
be rather pumped.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There we go. I like how this sounds. It's gonna be a good show tonight, hopefully, and then you and I will catch the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm having a ton of technical difficulties here on my end today. The Wi-Fi is very wonky. I understand I look and sound okay, and I can hear you and I can hear Mr. Beaver. But Mr. Beaver is it's like watching. Remember when the Shopping Channel first came online about 30 plus years ago, where it was like stop motion animation almost? This is what I'm seeing in my monitor in front of me. But if I look over here at my phone, everything's good. So I know the feed is good. It's just I think it's because the upload speed here is great right now. I just did a network test and I'm on public Wi-Fi. I tried hotspotting off my phone actually, Carol, and it was not going because I have almost no signal in here. Unfortunately, this building has walls that are like a meter thick. And there's a lot of steel and a lot of people above me, and I'm far in the back corner, so it's not really gonna work that way, unfortunately. But ordinarily, the Wi-Fi here is great for the download. Right now, the download's at about 1.2 megabits, which is why what I'm seeing is slow and choppy, and what I'm hearing is a little bit like that too. The upload's about 10 megabits, so we're able to do the show because of that. But it's a little difficult because I can't hear 100% of everything everybody says to me. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's a mobile show.
Indeed. So I see Kit Linda when I was talking about the card saying, first of all, thank God they found it, but also down in the sofa cushions. I actually have a weird story about that because that actually did happen to me. I think it was 2 years ago. I was in a play, and on the day that we were doing wardrobe fittings, so clothes were like coming on and being taken off really quickly and that kind of type of stuff. And then I got back home and I couldn't find I couldn't find my wallet. And I'm sitting there like, where is it? Like this, because like I've literally only been to the theater and been back home. Like I went like from a car to the theater to a car to home. Like I was outside in nature all of like 27 seconds, right?
Yeah.
It's like it has to be somewhere. And it turns out that while we were switching outfits or whatnot, this at one point somebody else was in, and I went and sat on the little two-piece sofa, and as I came off the wall, it slipped out of the pants that I had it in between the cushions. And about like 6 days later, some kids that were there for a kids camp were just like tearing stuff apart, and they lift up one of the cushions. It's like, oh, where does this belong to? So like, yeah, it was in the cushions the whole time.
Ouch.
Funny. That is fun.
Ah, man.
One of those weird, quirky things that just happens, right? It's like,
Well,
what the hell?
it's like weird stuff. Like, you're trying to get on a bus or something like this. I remember I was sitting in the bus and I was trying to get off, and I had the satchel, and it has one of those little snappy things that you like a belt snap to put it together. And I'm trying to get off, and like this, and I can't get out the seat because for some reason the thing that slides in for the snap managed to wedge itself between the seat and the. I'm thinking like, all I did was sit down. How did you manage to get in there in that way? It's like I'm like literally like tied to the chair. It's like,
Well,
like this is my stop. Like I'm yanking on it. Like, come undone.
as because I work from home on Fridays, I tend to try and get a little bit of housework done while I'm working. So simple little things like I'll just, throw a load of laundry in, run upstairs, like 5 minutes, throw a load of laundry and come back down. I misplaced my laundry cart about 4 times yesterday. I kept dropping it and leaving it behind, and I'm like, and it's a card. It's not quarters. It's just a card. You tap it against the machine, and now you can do it with your phone. So if I lose the card, I'll just transfer it to my phone. But I still had like $12 left on the card, so I wanted to use all of that before I started using my phone. Anyway, what I'm hoping is what would be cool is with the phone, the app, if I could tap on the app to say how many machines are available right now. They don't quite have that technology yet. It's just washing machines don't have Wi-Fi connections. But it would be cool if I could see, I don't have to waste 10 minutes organizing clothes and running upstairs. I could just keep working. You know what I mean? It's like, look, that machine will be done in 10 minutes. Then I'll run up, and that would be cool, I think.
Yes, that would be very, very handy.
There's $1 million idea. That's $1 million idea.
Yeah. Well,
all you got to do is...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just develop it. Boom.
Yeah.
I mean, the machines, they have a certain amount of computer technology built into them, right? Soft buttons on them and that. So you could just literally have it align with the clock in the unit, as in the clock as in what it's doing, connect to a Wi-Fi connection, and just spit out the information tied up. It could say, like if it's a washer, it could say 45 minutes, or a dryer, 30 minutes, or whatever. So you would know. I mean, there's $1 million idea. Somebody wants to develop that technology and then sell it to companies that deploy washing machines and dryers or laundry machines throughout apartment buildings and condos. Just give me 10% of the cut for the idea. That's all. I'm not greedy.
Pardon, Kyle?
That's not a lot to ask. 10%.
I don't think so. 10%. It's simple. Here's the idea. Just give me 10%. That's all I need. That's all I need. I'm giving you the idea. If you want to develop it, make some money off of it, by all means, but just cut me in for 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, hell. You want to give me more? I'll put some money into the idea. You don't want to give me more? 10%.
Yep.
Simple as that. I put no efforts in.
Yeah. So the kids, because I didn't get a chance to talk about it on the show, but today is the end of the curling season. The last matches will be played today. So I did not make it to the final. The thing that I had hoped not happened on Wednesday did happen. We lost both games. I lost both games back to back. Now the first game was against the team from our club that went to the provincial championships. So, we were in kind of tough, but it was a really good game. But they were better. They were better on the day. We were good, but they were better.
That happens.
So, but we played well. They were better. And then basically, I curled 6 ends there in doubles, where you're going up and down the sheet a lot. And then I got off sheet 3 and went immediately on sheet 6, where we were already on the 4th or 5th stone thrown in the first end of that match, and then curled another 7 in a row. I do not recommend curling 13 ends consecutive, nonstop, in a row. I really don't. And the second match, I think someone in the stars decided before it even started, like, no, not this year for you guys, because it just did not happen. The other team did play well. We did too. But everything they did worked out amazingly. Even their shots that were terrible, like completely missed,
They were
ended
so
up
good.
landing on something that hit something that hit something that hit something that bounced on something that knocked something that was scoring of ours off. 3 times in 7 ends, it was something I put there. It's like, what do I have to do to score a point? By about the 4th end in that match, which was been my 10th end of curling, um, my body started really feeling it. And concentration wise, it was sort of like, okay, because normally I'm the happy sort of cheerleader on the team. I'm liable to, note the times and, encourage people. And it's like, come on, guys, we can do this. Let's get it back, And by the 4th end, it was like, yeah, I know you guys still want to talk, but I'm going to stay at the complete other end of the ice over here and just be with myself because I only have so much energy left to sweep, to have concentration, and to throw. And even the minimum amount of talking that would be required or just to be social between shots is now very taxing and sapping me. So it's like I've got this much energy and I need to save it for the shot and the sweep. And so I kind of got a little quiet to be able to manage my resources. I did manage to get better as the game went on instead of worse in terms of shots, considering how much focus I really did have to near the end um, to make a shot, and especially like when my back was hurting and my groin was hurting from all the the pushing on the ice for sliding, and but you know we never gave up. There was no quit. We
Never
put
give up.
ourselves
Never surrender.
we put ourselves in good positions, and then in the ends, and then something would happen. Uh,
Mm.
and so we lost that one too. And I was bummed. I think maybe some people may have seen my tweet. I'm sad. It's normal. It's nothing tragic. It's not. It's just like I'm just sad because
Mm.
it's like I'm proud of myself because I've never done so well.
Oh,
Right?
that's
I
great.
was in a club semifinal of an A division in doubles for the first time in my life. 20 years I've been playing curling, and for 4-person men's B division semifinal again for the first time in my life, and for my first time playing 6 years with these guys. We got
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And we had a rough season. We had a good first half and we had a bad second half. So, the divisions are A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. But when it comes to playoffs, it's just A, B, and C. So we were like in the bottom of B. And essentially we came up with the bronze medal for
Champions.
B, tied for the bronze medal for B. Right. So we really pulled it together at the end of the season. And it's how you finish. So so I'm very, very proud, but it was sort of like, there's like one more game. There was just one more game. I just wanted that one more game.
Yeah, you can't always get what you want.
I know. So it
I
was
want a
that.
full head of hair.
Yeah. But it was that kind of sad and bummed out. I was like, oh, just I wanted to go all the way. See that to have the chance, win or lose, like this, just the chance to play like the big match. But it was the second biggest big match. So that's okay. That's
Well,
okay.
better than nothing.
So yeah. that was but so yeah, curling, great season, stellar season for me. Next year I will have two new partners. The lead, Kit Michael, who you often see in the chat, he's on my curling team.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's going to replace Celia for doubles, so it'll be new. So we'll probably be starting down in C division again next year, and trying to build our way up. But it'll be new for him and it's new for us. But given that it's a front enders game and he's the lead and I'm the second on our team, that will definitely going to it's going to help make our Tuesday night team better as well. And then in 2-person stick, my partner Brenda is decided that she wants to play pickleball instead. So I'll be looking for another partner, and I'm actually trying to convince my Beaver sweetie.
Mm.
I would like to play with my Beaver sweetie.
Do you think he'd be up for it though? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we
yeah.
like when we first met, we played curling for a couple of years here and there, and then he wanted to try his hand at rugby, which that was fine. But he hasn't played rugby for a few years, and he doesn't like the slide delivery on curling that much. He's um, when you're in a split squat, maintaining your balance without wobbling can be a little tricky. Now, some people play with a stabilizer, but it can be a little tricky. But when he saw stick curling, it was like, well, that I can definitely do. I mean,
Right.
curling is math and physics and angles, and so I mean that's his jam.
Does he play pool? Does he play snooker?
No, he doesn't.
See, because that's math, physics, and
But
angles.
chess.
That's all that is.
But he plays chess, and curling is also a lot of chess.
Chess is strategy. It's not physics, right?
But that's what I mean. Curling is strategy, right? It's basically chess on ice.
Strategy with the two. Okay.
Yeah. So it's so yeah, I might so put the vibes out there, get some cups, be playing with my Beaver sweetie. I would really like that. I would really like that.
Oh my god, everything's getting scronkly on me here today, so I'm just trying to get everything organized and sorted so that it works properly and that I don't get too frustrated. I had to put the hat on because it's getting a little chill in here, and I had to run to the bar and ask Emily to just turn the music down a little bit, only because my fear was if the mic picks up the music and we're not licensing it.
Oh yes.
We could get dinged, right? So that's why I kept muting myself, and I could hear it. I don't know if you guys could hear it loudly, but it was really loud for me.
Early on, we could, I think.
Yeah. So I asked her if she could turn it down. So she turned it down for me. It's like, it's great now. And I don't care if people hear music. It doesn't trouble me, and I can talk over it. That's not the big deal. It's the licensing thing. So we might get dinged for this. Now, that being said, PubCasts are one-off shows that are live only. We don't put them on the repeat. If you want to watch it again, it's on the live. And some of them we take down afterwards because there's no need to keep them up. But it's a live event only, and sometimes there's always that concern. Well, you can't monetize because I get it. I understand. We didn't license it. That's fine. Leave it be. Well, I don't care. I just don't want to get spanked. Is all. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we don't want the copyright violation is what it boils down to. That's all it is. And if you can avoid that, hey, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah, absolutely. So, yep. Curling is done. Tennis is about to start. Got a couple of matches in already. The last match I played was a little weird. Also this week. Weird. Lost the first set 6-0 for some reason. Then we started playing the second set. Well, second set, we had more time. And then I was like up 2-0 the second one. So who knows what happened there too. But I'm looking forward to this season a lot, specifically since after the long weekend in May that I know of, I don't have any plays, which means the summer can be dedicated to tennis. Yes. Which I would like very much. I'm looking forward to it. Do you have any things you're looking forward to, Mr. Gleason?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just going. I got a couple of messages.
Oh,
I just got a message from Super Kyle. He's like, "I'm at the bus stop. I will be there by 4:20." And it is 4:20, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm just sending him a message back here. I sent the link out for a lot of people. Anybody want? anybody wants to join today, hang on a second. I'm just responding to a couple of messages. Can't. Somebody said, stay blazed for happy 420. I'm like, can't. Allergic. They're like, oh, shit. Every time I tell somebody that, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm allergic to cannabis. I can't partake. Not that I want to, and I can't stand the smell of it. I'm like, I don't understand why anybody and look, I get people would smell whiskey or wine or beer and go, that's disgusting. I'm like, yeah, I get it. The idea of inhaling something that smells like a skunk to me, though, is just, it doesn't appeal to me at all. But to each their own. And again, I'm allergic to it, so that's how it is. So what my plans this summer, I am tentatively scheduled. I have booked 3 weeks off in July. I get 5 weeks this year because I got a week held over from last year, and I think I have 4 weeks mandatory, 4 weeks vacation after 5 years with this company. Anyway, I'm planning to take 3 weeks in July, leaving on my birthday, July 5th, which is a Friday, flying out to Calgary to see my buddy Alex. Going to stay at his place. Going to spend 2 weeks there. We're going to do the first weekend of Stampede. We're going to do that. Then we're going to do some hiking, try and catch either a Stamps game or a Rough Riders game. It's a bit of a drive, but a lot easier than me flying to. You get it, right? Anyway, that's the plan, is to try and spend 3 weeks this summer, 2 in Calgary, 1 here in Ottawa, getting caught up on small little projects and touring about the valley. But yeah, that is the plan. Hopefully I can make it happen. And Emily is so kind. She just looks over, gives me a wave. I'm like, yes, I'll have another beer, please. Yeah, 2 weeks in Calgary. And I was talking to Army Chris about this. I said, I'm going to take the first weekend for Stampede. He goes, why would you go to Stampede, brother? I'm like, I haven't been in 50 years. I just want to go for the first weekend. That's it. He's like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. If I see some barrel races, great. I want nothing to do with the chuck wagon races. Mm-hmm. I want nothing to do with it. I don't care for the roping stuff myself. It's not really my thing, but whatever. But yeah, I think that the what is it? What would you call it? The vastness, there's Creek Pete. Hey, brother. What is the spectacle of Stampede? The spectacle of Stampede. So yeah, that's part of the plan. How's it going, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Living the dream, man.
What is it? Is it Make Beaver Happy Day? Where's Kyle and Creek Pete? Like what? Yay! Hi.
How's it going?
Better now.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations on the show, man. How did it go?
Oh, kick ass.
Yeah,
9 awesome shows before we even took the stage. The whole rehearsal period, everything, the whole vibe, beginning to end, super chill, nicest people. From the actors, the people built the set, the people did the props, the production, everyone, nicest people. Band was so cool. Band liked actually hanging out with us. Super cool. Because there's the band, and then there's the musical theater.
Is that separation, or right? I don't know. I've never been in the. I've always wanted to tip my hat into trying acting, but I don't know.
I think it'd be great. The band comes in later, right? So you're usually only rehearsing with somebody who's playing at a keyboard. Right. Then if you're lucky, maybe about 3 or 4 days before you go on, the percussionist finally starts to arrive, and you go, oh, that's when I'm supposed to step there on that beat. Gee, that would have been helpful 2 freaking months ago. Right, instead of me racking my brain trying to figure out, thinking I would never get it. And then usually about the day before, 2 days before opening, depending on how big your band is, they'll be all in a room doing stuff together, and then they'll bring the singers in so that they can hear with you for the first time. And that usually just only does that 1 day, and then they're ready to go. Right. But this one, because we didn't have a pit, the way that the set was built, the band was under the scaffolding and whatnot. They called it the cave, and they were all put under there. And they actually have a line or two in the show. And when the guitar solos came in for Bohemian Rhapsody, we had the guitars come out,
cool.
rock out a little bit. So so over the course, but we like as the group for actors, we were all together in one group, and then the bands like showed up like one Saturday, and they were there like working alone, and then worked with us just for an hour, and then came back the second Saturday and worked for us, and then so like they were there and they were organizing their stuff, and we were gonna so we were in two separate pods, but it's like once you get to start to play.
Right.
Your things and everything was there. Some stuff may still go wrong here or there, but you get to forget it and then play.
Right.
This,
okay.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. When the run was all over, we have a microbrewery here called Riverhead. That wasn't open in the evening and just allowed us. So like, those stories you say, I was out in a pub in Ireland like this, and then they closed the pub and everybody that was in the pub, well, you're in here. So you get to keep drinking, but nobody else gets to come in. Well, it was like one of those situations. Which has never happened to me before in my life, which is kind of cool. So.
No, good. Yeah, good. I'm glad it went
Literally,
well.
I have nothing bad to say. It was one of the most beautiful experiences in terms of a play or a show from beginning to end. A lot of hard work, but one of the most beautiful ones.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it was a gift. It was a gift. Thanks for asking.
And enjoying your Saturday? Paul, you too, my friend?
Paul's had a rougher one.
Yeah, one of those days. I'm like one of those, I don't know if it's the weather. I just feel like I want to take a nap. I just want to go take a nice 3-hour nap or something like that. But I can't do it. I can't.
Why not?
I would love to.
My wife is out right now, so I am watching my oldest son, and he's autistic too, right? So I kind of have to keep an ear out just to know exactly what he's fine. I don't have to really worry about it. But I mean, if I was out cold and then the wife came home, I'd be in shit. So I'm not going to do that.
Join in later.
So essentially then, we're helping you stay awake. We're providing very special service.
I'm having a cappuccino right now too, so that's going to help a little bit as well too.
I think the cappuccino might do more to keep you awake than we will.
Yeah,
I actually drank a pot of coffee this morning, like literally a pot of coffee.
I had two this morning too. I don't know. It's just like I think it's the weather. I either that, I don't know what it is, because I slept well, but I just like I'm just like tired. I'm just tired. I don't know what it is.
Well, I took the dog out for an hour this morning, and we went for a walk, and then I brought her to the dog park. There was no other dogs there, so I'm like, let's go nuts. Threw the ball back and forth, and she wants to play fetch, but when she brings the ball to me, she wants to play tug of war, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm like, nope, you have to put it down, and I'll throw it again.
Right.
And I'll have the ball in my hand. She'll jump up to take it and nip me each time. It's not intentional.
Right.
Problem is, she has a square, like her. So I was watching some documentaries on Dogo Argentinos today because I want to know more about the breed, because I love this dog, and she's only been in my life for 7 weeks on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and she has they're bred from a lot of different dogs. One of them being an Irish Wolfhound, English Mastiff, Pit Bull, Bulldog, like a whole bunch of them are in there.
Right. So
she's like sort of the best of all the breeds is the idea behind it. And she has a bite strength of, get this, 500 PSI.
Yo.
There's only one other dog in the world that has stronger bite strength, and they hit at 750. I'm like, 500 PSI? That would break, that would go right through my hand.
Yeah, it'd go right through the bone probably, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I love her. She's such a great dog, and she's really discovered that she has a home now, right? She's safe and everything's good. Like, I keep checking in on her, and I have a camera to remote so I can see her. But oh my God, this watching some of these videos. Oh, here we have them taking down pumas. Oh, and here we have them taking down wild boar, because their jaws it's unbelievable. They're almost like an alligator. They can open their jaws so wide.
Right.
But yeah, she's a character. It's a whole, if a year ago you said, oh, you'd have a wife and a dog, I'd be like, put the crack pipe down, man, because you are high off your ass. And here I am with a wife and a dog.
Nice. Congrats. That's good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. All you're missing is that picket fence.
So you geared up for game one tonight?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for them to lose. What's up, dude? You saying hi?
Hi.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hello. Do you think how many games? Like, do you think it'll go 7 games?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll make it to round 2?
No.
I
don't feel well about it. I don't. If I want to be the optimist, yeah, you know what? It's our year, right? We're gonna do something different this year. But the realist in me, they just haven't played well against Boston this whole year. So unless the magic and truthfully, they've been playing like shit for the last week or so too. The last week and a half, they've been playing like crap. So I don't know. Hopefully something turns around.
Well, I talked to a couple of people and they said, well, the last week and a half they've been playing so poorly is because they're trying to rest for the playoffs because they're already in. I'm like, yeah,
maybe.
I think that's a theory, but usually when you're ramping up, you want to, keep going up. Why would you plateau?
You're ramping
and then
up.
you have to ramp up again.
And a lot of the main guys were silent near the end, and that's just foreshadowing what they did last time too. So I don't know. Like I said, I want to be hopeful, but I don't want to set my expectations too high.
The last time they won was the year before I was born. So
before even I was born, not even close, 10, 12 years before I was born. So yeah. There's a stat. There's a stat that I saw, or somebody was saying that in all the history, even when they won, they've never won 2 rounds. Like so, in '67 or what was it? They've never won a second round. Never. So
never. They haven't. Because there weren't 3 rounds back then. They're like, yeah, we're in the playoffs. There were 6 teams.
Right,
of course you were in the playoffs.
Exactly.
They've never been. Well, that's not true. They haven't won
a third
round since in 30 years, right?
Right.
Yes, they've never played in the fourth.
That was the third round, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
They've never played in the fourth. They haven't played that many games to win the Stanley Cup. Now, when they won it in '67, it was a hell of a victory. And Bill, what was his name? A broken leg, or was that in '62? I can't remember. Bill Barilko was scored, and then they didn't find he died, and then they didn't find him. The last goal he ever scored won the Leafs the cup. They didn't win another until 1962 when he was discovered. But I can't remember. Bobby Bond played on a broken leg. Was that in '62 or '67?
I have no idea.
Because the '67 Leafs were by modern standards a bunch of geezers. They were serious veterans at the time. I mean, guys in their late 30s, which in 1967, late 30s to be playing professional sports was old. Because I mean, they'd finish the game, they'd go to the pub, eat chips and gravy. There was no condition back then,
right? It's a completely different game now. Right, so Guy
Lafleur used to smoke cigarettes on the bench in the '70s.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not. I don't want to be the optimist. I am usually typically the optimist, but I'm trying to hold that down this year because I just don't have a good feeling against Boston. So
yeah.
I saw the draw the other day, and it's like 4 against 5, like. If you, I know it really doesn't mean anything when you get to the playoffs, but it's like when you're like got that first round curse, it would be so much better to be 1 versus 8 than 4 against 5, especially if the 4 and 5, the 4 is Bruins, because for some reason, I don't know what it is about that team, but frick, man.
Yeah, they have our number. They have Toronto's number. They really do.
Yeah. I know it was not the matchup a lot of people were looking for. They were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I was hoping for Florida. Like, can you even imagine that? Like, I was even saying, like, I'd rather go against Florida than Boston. Like, that's quite, Florida's a really good team too, right? But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, and I'll be proven wrong. But I think they're gonna get smoked tonight. So I don't know.
Well, you got to remember, You remember this, and I've been saying this for more than a decade now, because it rings true for 2 decades, thankfully. Leafs is an acronym because the plural of leaf is leaves, right? So it should be the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
So Leafs is actually an acronym. It means losers even after 50 seasons. It's a good one, right? It's a good one. Feel free to use that.
It is good. And it's fitting. And unfortunately, it works. So whatever.
Well, and I get razzed by friends of mine who are Leafs fans, and they're like, "Hey, when's the last time the Sens played for the Stanley Cup?" And I go, "This century."
Yeah, exactly.
Shut the fuck up. If we had played you in the first round, we would have beat you. You didn't make the playoffs that year, so that's not a discussion.
Right.
It's been 7 years since Ottawa's made the playoffs, so that is a stretch because the modern Sens had like a 15-year run where they were in the playoffs.
But
they
the
were
Sens had our number again this year too, so I can't even see that either. Like they were one of the worst teams in the league this year, and still every single time that they played the Leafs, they fucking smoked them. It's like I don't understand.
That's the thing, right? Though it's like,
you show up for that match. When you're from Ottawa, you show up for that match
every time because it's like it's key. It's key as a Senators fan and a Senators player that you beat the Leafs. Hey, Mateo, how you doing, buddy?
Hi, Mateo. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again too.
Oh,
have you got Hulk? Is that Hulk on your knee?
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
We like Hulk.
I ate Hulk.
You what?
I ate Hulk.
You ate Hulk.
Ate Hulk.
Yeah.
Does it make it worse?
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. You're gonna get really big and strong if you eat Hulk. Get your vitamin H.
This is a big ball.
Guys, I gotta cruise.
Ball.
Okay. I gotta
Okay.
cruise, guys.
See you,
See ya.
Pete.
Okay,
Bye.
talk to you soon.
Later, brother. Take care.
So you got a
Hey, look
big
what I got.
ball.
Look what I got. Stickers. I got stickers.
What did you do with all our stickers, Mateo?
I stick them all around the house.
It's
Yes.
cool. I'll
Hey,
send you some new ones with a QR code on it, so when you stick them, people can see it and then scan the code and watch our show.
Yay. Oh, that's a really nice ball, Mateo. I've never seen one like that.
That's all.
Where'd you get this ball?
From Walmart.
Oh, cool.
Nice. What's the
It's
design?
very bouncy.
Yeah, eh? Do you like sit on it and bounce?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I also like to drop it and it comes back to my hand. Put it back here, buddy. Magic.
Nice. Hey, I saw you on the video the other day of you reading.
Yeah.
That was very good. You're doing
Yeah.
really well.
I started reading.
Can you read the chat?
Mhm.
What are they saying?
They're saying, this one says, what's up, buddy? And this one says, hey, Mateo.
That's
Yeah.
saucy. Let's see who else is back
Wait,
here.
who's Mateo?
Who's Mateo? Only the most important person in Canada.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, I'm just,
And
I'm just
our
checking.
friend Carol is asking, what else do you do with the stickers?
I also play with them on my toys, like on my bat.
Oh,
Cool.
cool.
On your bat. Like a baseball bat?
No, my water bat.
Oh, water bat. I like that. Nice. So what are you doing this weekend, my friend?
I don't know yet.
No big plans
That makes
yet?
2 of us.
Yeah, really?
I don't know what I'm doing this weekend either, buddy.
Yeah.
Just sitting here speaking on the mic and hanging out with you guys. And eventually I'll have to eat some food later. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
What the?
Have you had lunch yet?
Yes.
Yes. What did you have?
I had a fruit cup
For
Fruit cup.
lunch?
Oh, well, that's always nice.
and some oranges.
And what did Daddy make?
Daddy made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
Yes, he did.
I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
He actually
love-
made French toast.
That is my
French toast.
favorite.
I had that the other day. It was so good.
French toast is my
And
Bridget
favorite.
made French toast.
I had the French toast first thing in morning.
Awesome. That's the
Yeah.
best time to have it.
That's a good way to start the day.
It is actually.
Yes. Puts you in a good mood.
It does.
What else?
Yeah.
Do you like?
I
What you
like
ask me for all the time.
treats.
Treats. Oh, I also like treats. What kind of treats do you like? Do you like candy or?
I like all kinds of treats, like shark gummies.
Shark gummies.
Yeah,
Okay. And
Chocolate.
my favorite chocolate is definitely Kinder Eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Kinder
I like Kinder Eggs, too.
rock.
Yeah.
Do you like
Yeah.
puppies? Do you like doggies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a puppy
Oh,
dog here.
really? Yeah, Mateo really likes puppies.
Look, there's Lola.
See my dog? That's my dog, Lola.
You're so silly.
Oh,
She's a
it's
big
okay.
girl.
Oh.
He is so dramatic, Douglas. He has such a dramatic bone in his body. He better be something amazing. Maybe he'll follow in Jazzy's footsteps.
Oh. I love it. So,
Awesome.
how are you doing in school?
Good.
Good? You sure?
I am.
Okay.
That was an affirmation right there.
that he's very sure. I like that.
Play
I like
center.
that. And so, other than reading, what are you learning right now?
Very bad, awful drivers. ERIRAREAR.
Okay.
It's like they're teaching them about how to put words together. So bad drivers
Yes.
are ears. So he's learning all that. He comes home and he says these things out of the blue, and I'm like, "What did you just say?" And then I realized, oh, it's the sounds they're making.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Love it. 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 What's that you got in your hand? Transformer?
No, it's a Lego Transformer.
Whoa. They have Lego and Transformers together.
Oh, this is new. I didn't know about this.
It's
I'm just learning
actually
it today.
It's Dark Vader Mecha Robot. It's in Walmart too.
Wow. I've never seen Transformer Lego.
Sort of close.
I kind of want to play with it now.
Look at this.
I really
Copyright.
do. I
Go
like
down.
Lego and I like Transformers back in the day.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Look, guess what else it can do too?
What can it do too?
It can move its fingers.
No. Really?
Yeah.
He's concentrating real hard.
Look it just moved its fingers. And now, look.
Oh yeah. Nice. I
Are you
like
seeing
it.
yourself on TV?
Yeah.
Is it weird?
It it's kind of weird, but you know what else it can do with fingers?
What?
It can do this. Pointy finger.
Pointy finger? Like this?
It's doing its pointy fingers, and now it's giving you a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Oh, yes.
Another thumb up. 2 thumbs up.
Today, I love this.
1 thumb up. 2 thumbs up. No thumbs up. 1.
And it can also, you know what also it can do? Move its arms.
It can move its arms.
Yeah, and its legs.
Wow.
Arm.
Okay. Yes.
And now
And?
the legs.
I see. And what kind of adventures does he get into?
He gets into battling adventures.
Battling adventures. I like that.
With its best buddies.
Oh, with his best buddies.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know Darth Vader had best buddies.
It actually does.
Are you one of them?
Yeah, let me just go get one.
Oh, gosh.
This is news to me. I didn't know Darth Vader had buddies.
Let's see if he can even find them. His
You
toys
learn
are
it here
everywhere.
The things you learn watching the Beaver podcast.
Okay, well,
Darth
bring
Vader
it.
has buddies.
A
Who knew?
helmet for that.
These are the things you learn. Revelations.
No. How about you look at your toys later? You can show them that next time.
I got the helmet for one of the best buddies.
Okay.
But I couldn't seem to find one of the best buddies.
All right. That's okay. We'll be able to see them next time, right?
Why don't you
Yeah.
ask them questions? Do you have anything you want to ask them?
Yeah.
When is it your next birthday, Douglas?
Oh, my next birthday is almost 1 month from now.
Wow.
A little less than 1 month from now. 1 day less than a month from now.
Ooh.
You'll be 51?
I will be 51.
51. Say 15.
15.
I'll be 15.
Yeah, we
15.
flipped the letter or number.
I don't know if I want to be 15 again.
Just in the
Kinda rough
heart.
the
Just
first
in the
time
heart,
around.
Douglas. Is that
Yeah.
everything? You want to ask Paul anything?
I can show you another toy.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Toy hammer.
Oh,
I'm good
a
at
hammer.
fixing.
Like who?
What?
I'm good at fixing. Fix.
Ah,
I'm gonna fix over here. Fix. Now I'm gonna fix you. Fix.
all better.
Now let's just fix the world. Fix.
Oh, wish we could.
Now let's fix this guy. Fix.
Is that a hammer? You're fixing things
Yeah.
with a hammer?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's what Bridget likes to do. She's like, just bap
Now
it. Just bap it.
Fix this ball. Now I'm gonna fix this humongous ball. Fix.
Welcome to my world.
That's how you fix it. Just hit it with a hammer. And when in doubt, hit it with a hammer. Just don't do that to people, though. Don't do that
No.
to people.
No, never hit people with hammers.
The ball is like, wee.
All right.
Mateo, who's the number one fixer?
Yeah, who's the number one fixer?
Me.
Oh.
Yes.
Look at me.
That's the right answer.
I think your daddy was trying to get you to say it was him.
What's this ball going in the air? Cut it.
Ah.
Who's the greatest dancer, too?
Me.
You.
I like
Ball
to
goes
dance
in the
too.
sky. Ball. Cut it with my elbow.
All right.
Ah, lovely.
I got my singing monsters.
Your what monsters?
My singing monsters. It's called an app, and it's about singing monsters and playing.
And what do you
Ooh.
do? Worlds.
You make worlds,
Okay.
and there's also activities to do.
Nice. I like that. I like singing monsters.
And actually, you can hatch eggs to get the singing monsters.
Wow.
And you
Really?
can also get friends in there.
Okay. That sounds like a lot of fun.
And you
Cool.
can get coins and gems and relics. That's what they call the things in the game with the music notes. And they also got keys to get the dipsters. They just go in the ground and say dip. You want me to be one of them?
Sure. Quickly.
Dip, 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 dip.
Oh, there goes Douglas.
Beep.
Oh!
Beep. Beep. Beep.
Now I'm being the noggin.
No.
The noggin.
It's another monster. It's actually a cool little game. They all have different sounds and they make music together.
Oh yeah, there's a game called Plants vs. Zombies. Here's one of the basic ones, the pea shooter. And it goes to the zombies. And it throws peas at them.
It throws what at them?
Peas.
Like the
Peas.
food?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant something else. Okay.
No.
Watch it fall in there.
It's like they're like Plants vs. Zombies. It's a adult
Oh,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Plants vs. Zombies. Yes, of course. Nice.
Peas porridge hot, peas
Here's
porridge
my
cold.
best buddy.
Porridge in the pot,
Here's
9
my
days
best
old.
buddy, actually. Here's
Oh.
my best buddy.
I have an idea before we go. Why don't you ask them the question you asked me the other day? What are their top 3 wishes?
What are your top 3 wishes?
Oh, Mr. Grizzly.
I
are your
couldn't
top
hear
three?
very well. Sir.
What? Oh, Mateo wants to know what are your top 3 wishes?
Top 3 wishes. Well, the first one would be world peace, legitimately. The second one would be health and happiness for everyone I know and love and care for. And the third one would be health and long life for myself too. Yeah, those are my top 3. Those are a little lofty. I don't know if I think it to be true.
And now,
And yours? What are your top 3?
turn.
Oh, my turn?
Douglas's turn. Okay, yeah.
Okay. My 3 wishes would probably be for nobody to get sick. My second one would probably be for everybody to be nice to each other.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then
That's a
my
really good one.
third one would be to to share a banana split with you.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And my 3 wishes is bananas come to life, and I be a banana, and I be like this. And my 3rd wish is be a tomato like this and get chopped like this, like my body right now. Yup.
What's your second? What's your third?
I already did my 3rd.
You did 2.
Yes.
You did banana.
Oh,
and
yes.
tomato.
And like be a banana to get eaten, like num num num. Oh God! Just
Sounds
my
good.
eat is
Works
left.
for me.
Slice.
Slice. Slice.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to them?
Bye bye. See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
Mateo. Thank you so
Maybe.
much for
Okay.
visiting with us.
Maybe it's not so boring after all, right?
Let me just go to sleep. Let me just go to sleep. I'm back.
Oh gosh.
It's tomorrow.
It's been a long.
Thank you so much for visiting with us, Mateo.
I'm going to go to bed. I'm back.
Okay. Sleep well.
All right. Have a good time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss.
Well, that was cute. That was fun. That was fun.
Little
Little lighthearted joy of a young boy who has nothing but happiness in his heart, right? I mean, like, I think we all need a little bit more of that.
the official
I
bringer of joy of the Beaver Lodge, Mateo.
Yeah.
That's his official title.
I'm a little verklempt here, but I get that from my doggy. And again, the funny thing is, and Bridget will tell you this, is that she knows how much I love dogs. And when a few months back, since she met me, she's like, I should get you a dog. And I'm like, I don't have time for a dog. I'm busy. I work. And she goes, yeah, I know, but you'd be so great with him. I'm like, yeah, but I just picking up dog shit does not appeal to me at all. At the 6 a.m. walks, the this, the that, I don't have the time, and I work a lot, and this and that and the other thing. And now I look forward to coming home to see my dog, and I get excited when she wakes me up in the morning. So, yeah.
No.
That was unexpected, eh?
Wow, look
Speaking
at
of
you.
Bridget, she just got here. She just walked in.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I'll have to split the camera up so we can see better. I'll zoom out a little bit so that she can be on the screen. And hang on a sec here. I'll just shrink this down so I can get the application I need so I can zoom out a little bit. And here we go. Just right here, babe. Yeah, so that's me just emotionally getting emotional thinking about my dog. Not something I ever thought I would say in my life. Well, Mateo was just on a moment ago, and he was on the screen, and I was saying, it's the joy you get from a child's laughter, the child's joy. It brings us all, everybody around us, joy. And it's like now, a year ago, if you had said, "Oh, you're going to have a dog and a wife," I would have said, "You're insane. That's never happening. Neither of those things." And yet here I am. And I was just saying how I look forward to getting home to see my puppy dog. I mean, you too, when you're there. You're not always there, but but oh, hang on, you're muted there. Here you go. There you go. Put your headphone on, and let me just turn your volume down a bit. Is that too loud?
No, that's great.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm pretty much I'm probably second place now. To Lola.
I mean, this is admitted, right?
I thought Douglas was here today.
No,
I was confused. I guess.
so the plan was to do the thing at Meow, and then he said, "Well, let's start earlier we can do. I said, what's easier for you from there, from here?
Yeah.
And he had to try and arrange transportation to get here. So it was just easier for him to do it this way, where he could zoom in remotely.
I brought your mug, Douglas. I had it all wrapped up.
Well, he's coming to town tomorrow.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
okay, good.
No, he'll be in town tomorrow. It's just trying to make it today, so that we could put a show on would have been too difficult. So it's like, just stay in Kingston. You can do remote.
Sometimes you gotta call an audible, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I would have been able to. I would have been able to get there for the 5 o'clock. No problem.
Yeah.
But if we were, given that we were moving back to the pub, nice, lovely. Given that we were moving back to the pub and there's a Leafs game tonight, then
we have to start a little bit earlier because the Leafs game is on at 6, so we figure by 6:37 it might start to get crowded.
Yeah.
You brought your Mademoiselle Fox mug.
I brought your mug too.
I love
you brought my
your
mug?
hair, Bridget.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually washed it.
Rocking.
I washed it.
It is.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's the thing going on in the front and how it's all layered back, and then the thing going on, like you've got like 3 things going on, and it's all like just so it's flawless.
Wow, that's so
flawless.
If you saw the back, you'd be like, "Did you sleep in a dumpster?"
Well, on camera it looks
I got my Grizzly mug.
You look great too.
Am I supposed to drink my beer out of that?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
So are you Douglas? Are you watching the Leafs game? No.
Yeah, I'll be watching it tonight.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll watch
Well,
it
it's playoffs, right? Everybody watches playoffs.
There's only 2 matches tonight, right? And I always cheer for the Canadian teams, and so the only Canadian team on the docket tonight is Leafs. So why wouldn't
I cheer for 2 teams: the Ottawa Senators and whoever's playing the Leafs.
I don't want to. I do. I'm pretty good at predicting sports outcomes, and I can tell you for sure somebody's going to win.
Oh,
there will be a victory tonight at some point. It could go to triple overtime because it is the NHL. It is the playoffs.
Yes.
Someone will win tonight.
Someone's going to win. Oh, T-Dot, Miss Elaine. That's so good. Saucy.
I can predict. I predict boldly that there will be no ties tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, there won't be any ties tonight. There won't be any shootouts.
I'd put money on that.
Here's the thing. That's not a betting thing. So you're noticing, Bridget, that on the monitor here, everything is a little herky-jerky. But if you look here...
Did you just say that?
Herky-jerky.
This is one of the most old man things I've heard you say.
Herky-jerky. It makes sense. What?
Also, I have to tell you, I'm trapped in my jacket because...
But if you look here, it's good. Okay. It's just it's because the upload speed here is not or the download speed is not the best. But
Paul gave me this beautiful watch, and
you couldn't get your jacket off.
Get my jacket off. There you go.
Do you need me to do it up for you?
Yes, please. I look honestly. I have to show it because it's so beautiful and it's so heavy. I've never worn a piece of jewelry this heavy, or it's not jewelry. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, it's decorative.
So I got some bling.
A little bit of bling.
Unexpectedly this morning. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what happened was so without getting into the details of it, but for our 1-year meet-iversary, because we met on, I know that sounds kind of weird. We met a year ago on April 13th. Why did I say August? We're still in April. So to do that, I had a watch in for repair, and it's this one. And it's, hang on, I'll get a little closer to the camera there.
Okay. All right.
If you see that, it is my favorite watch in the world, my favorite watch that I've ever owned, my favorite watch that I would ever own. And it was, I had, back in 2012, I think it was 2012, I was in Uruguay on vacation, and I had this watch, and I was swimming in the ocean, and I got salt water in it because dumb that I am. I didn't go get the seals checked. It needs a tune-up like any other mechanical device. And I got salt water in it. And it continued to work, but it started to eat away at the indices and the face. And, it was having problems.
Right.
And then eventually I smacked it one day, and the hands fell off. And I'm like, okay. So I took it into the shop in January 2020. End of January 2020. The day I got my car, I dropped my watch off, and they called me 2 weeks later and said, "Yeah, it's should be back in about 4 weeks' time. It's going to be about $1,400." And I said, "Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So okay, no problem." Then the whole world shut down, and then it sat. It came back from repair, but I'd been off work for a few months. My income had been cut by 20%. I don't need to explain what happened to all of us during the pandemic. So it sat there waiting in the repair shop for the last 4 years. And then Bridget texted me. She says, "I'm going to get your watch." I'm like, "What?" "I'm going to get your watch." I'm like, "That's a lot of money, darling." She goes, "Don't worry about it." So she...
Well, I tried to surprise him because I contacted the jeweler because
couldn't find the claim tag.
I knew which jeweler it was at, and I was trying to get it without him knowing, and they said, "Well, you need his claim tag," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll try to find it." So, and I didn't want to rifle through all this stuff and whatever, but so then I had to finally ask him, "Thank you, that can I have the claim tag, and could you send a letter or an email that says I have permission to take the watch out, because they don't want someone to walk out with a watch like that." And so anyway, it was a great experience. They were awesome. Thompson's Jewelry in Ottawa.
They're great.
And
they really are.
To pay for it, I'm going to take up pole dancing, I think. I don't know if people think that's a good idea or not.
Suffice to say, I was shocked, and I tried to deter her from doing this. I'm like, that's a lot of money. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that. So anyway,
I'm a super good dancer. I don't know how to dance on a pole, but how hard can it be?
One of my hobbies is collecting I collect automatic watches. So when I do this, it winds. So I had another one that was sitting there that I'm not wearing anymore because I now have this. And I had a friend of mine gave me a band bracelet from a really nice watch. And I go, "You know what? That would look nice on that because it's silver and black. I think that would look great." So I took it all apart, fixed it, set the links up, and I put it on her wrist today. And I'm like, "Is that good?" And she goes, "It's a little too loose." So I took out another link. I go, "There you go." It's like, "Are you giving this to me?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not? You gave me a watch. Why wouldn't I give you one?" It's like a thing. It's a watch swap thing.
Well,
Anyway.
It's awesome because I have a nice watch from my mom from like 25 years ago, and I still wear it rarely. But it's had no battery in it for like 10 years. But I just wear it for jewelry. But now I have one that works, and he's like, "Babe, all you have to do is shake it, and it winds."
Kyle, Super Kyle's here.
Okay, sorry. There's a celebrity in the house.
Super Kyle is
Everything
here.
stops.
Now this
We'll make
like I'm happy he's on the show, but this is the part that makes me sad. I'm not there now.
You got to figure out how to. The other camera doesn't seem to be working here. I'm trying to get the other camera going, and it's not functioning for me. Ugh. Maybe I'll plug and unplug it. That's what I'll do. Hang on, give me a sec here. We're gonna make this so. I'm gonna tell you what, sir. Give us a couple minutes while we get things set up here. You can take over. I'm just gonna go off camera while we get this fixed. Okay, be right back.
Sounds good. All right, there we go. Wow. Well, flying solo and without a net. I want to get your take on something because, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we had gone out to look for new glasses for me because, brilliant person that I am, at the beginning of the season, curling season, I think third game in. Hold on, I'll just reach over here and grab them. As I was putting on my shoes, I had forgotten that I put my glasses on the chair. Then I sat on them. And that happened. So pretty much all season long, I've been playing curling with a unique pair of glasses. So finally, my prescription and everything, went to the optometrist, got my prescription, and got the glasses. And this is what I opted for. So world debut of my new look, Kits and Cubs. What do you think? Unfortunately, they're for distance, so looking at the computer monitor is very, very weird right now. Actually, but yes. Profile, front, serious. Well, let me know what you think if I chose wisely or not. I would appreciate your nice glasses, purple, yellow diamond. I do not. I'm guessing that would have been an emoji then, and it didn't appear. Thanks so much, Kid Obsessive. Thank you, Kid Toronto. Cool beans. Exactly. Oh, cool. And the Anti-Corpus was talking about the watches. Around that same time, I bought a watch for my dad to give to him on his 80th birthday on March 17th, 2020. But then he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. So sorry to hear about that, my friend. Yes, I'm guessing the 3 dots means that there's more coming. So I will wait for it to come across the screen before I comment any further on that. But yeah, so sorry to hear that. That's not good news ever to get. Let's see, Kit Saucy. Oh, Miss Shadeka, I think you look smashing. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Kit Saucy, I have a dog that is taking some work and have had to think about rehoming him. Oh, yes, the other option is to try and find an obedience trainer nearby, but we don't have any. Are you do you typically foster Saucy? Is that what you're doing with that, or is it actually a dog you were thinking of bringing into the family, and you're realizing that might be a little more work than you had expected? Yeah. So the kid Anti-Corporatist says about the watch. So is going to give it to him for his birthday, his 80th birthday.
I got us all.
Thank you. Then got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So I gave it to him, and then I inherited, and now I have this watch, but I never wear it. Yeah, I can see that.
I just wanted to say real quick, Anti-Corporatist, I'm really sorry about what you had to go through. That's hard with your dog.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
All right, we are live. Can you
see?
Oh, Kyle's frozen for some reason. It's the camera here. Trying to get it going. Hang on. Let me just check the video settings. I think it has to do with the whole weirdness that's going on with the Wi-Fi today.
It's our millennial staring at his phone. Jeez.
You can pull the mic a little closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just slide it a little closer.
You don't have to be leaning all the way over the table.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can hear Super Kyle?
Can we hear?
I can hear you.
Testing 1, 2.
Yes, I can hear.
There we go.
For some reason, the camera's frozen, though. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try something else here, see if I can make this work. I'll just go, let's just switch up the camera. Ordinarily, I can run multiple cameras on this computer, but for some reason, I think it's a Wi-Fi issue today. So we'll just do a bit of a wide shot like this. I'll remove a camera.
All right. There you go. So, oh, yes. Gotcha. And Kit Saucy was, because I was mentioning the story about the dog here. So just to go back to there, because I asked a question. She says, I adopted a dog from someone about a year ago, and he's very protective of my son who's on the spectrum. It's more concerned of my dog hurting someone if he thinks my son's in danger. Yeah. I can see that as well. Yeah. Those are always, they're heartbreaking situations because, it's not the pet's fault. But yeah, it's sometimes there's a bigger picture, unfortunately. I've fortunately never had to experience that type of situation. Anytime I've had a pet, it's been a pet that has been able to stay with us and that we didn't have to worry about or wonder about. But I can imagine, getting to the part where you're given that love and then you're realizing that, oops, I don't hear any sound. Yeah, still from the other. Yeah, sorry, Bridget, we can't hear you yet. Yeah, so, but yeah, absolutely. So yeah, wow, that's wild. And other things going on, I am at a point where I'm making a couple of decisions. I've been volunteering with as you know, because I talk about it on the show often, our local theater company over here, and I do marketing for the community theater company here in Kingston called Domino Theater. A little bit more than 3 years now. I was brought in during COVID, and it's a really good board, I have to say. Good people, very professionally run. The finances of the organization are also very good, which makes it easier when you're doing that type of board, when you're doing board work. And COVID was a difficult period, especially if you were in the performing arts section, because it involved a lot of people coming together. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, there was some weirdness going on. I don't know what it was, but I've got it fixed to a certain degree. So, okay, we can get fixed there. There we go. There we go. We're all here. Sometimes you got to jump in and out. Oh, look, hang on. I got something because it is 10 after 4. So let's just take a look at what Parliament Hill looks like. There's a couple people on it today because, it's
Saturday.
But it's just really, usually not that many people on the hill at this time on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I would just,
yeah, that's true.
I'll take our cameras off.
So,
Picnics?
I guess so.
Picnic? Yeah, it's a picnic. Yeah, that's what it is. April 20th, it's a picnic.
It'll be a picnic in 20 minutes when they...
But first, we're going to have a picnic, but first the aperitif, and then the digestif.
So I don't know why, for some bizarre reason, the other camera, when I add it in, it's not working today. I don't know. We've had so many hiccups today, technologically speaking wise, that and now I can't even get out of this thing. There we go. So we'll just run with one camera for now, but we do have 3 mics and 3 people here on site. So, hey, Super Kyle, how you doing, brother?
I am loving today.
Awesome. Glad you could make it.
I'm so excited. It's nice to do this in person, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I don't see you all the time, but I bump into you at the strangest times here and there. But it's nice that you can come in and join us for the PubCast, because this is the thing we like to do once a month, and this show. It's no politics, it's no religion. It's just concerts, places we've been, things we've done, silly stories, accidental stories about when. How did I end up in Fred's apartment? And who is Fred? And why am I in Montreal?
Concerts and strange stories. I feel like that's my entire life.
Exactly. It's like it. Sorry, I shit in your tuba, dude.
Well, since you are now here,
no idea what Paul is saying.
Yes, since you are now here, Mademoiselle Fox and my good friend Super Kyle, please tell us, how is your mental health doing today?
My mental health.
Yes.
Well, I went to a concert last night, so it's pretty on par, and I'm going to talk tonight, so it's
yeah. I would love to see that show tonight. I really would. I've been listening to his record, and they were playing Wasteland this morning on the CBC, and I'm like, that is such a good song.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Runaway to Mars was the one that got him noticed, but every time I hear Wasteland, I'm like, I hear it, and it's so different from Runaway to Mars that it's like, it sounds like a completely different band.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. The only other artist I can think of today that does that is Mammoth, which is Wolfgang Van Halen. Now, of course, his first record, he recorded everything on it is him. Vocals, backing vocals, drums, guitar, bass, keyboards, it's all him, 100% him. And each song is so different from the other that it sounds like a different artist each time. And I'm getting that same vibe with Talk, which I think is really cool because you sort of play into different vibes from people in that respect, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's huge. There's a lot of bands where I mean, especially Canadian bands that we listen to all the time, that you listen to them and you just think one song flows into the next song, into the next song. And it's unfortunate because some of these bands are they're good. Individual songs when listened to in a shuffle mode or whatever
Kick
are
butt.
great songs.
But if you listen to the record start to finish, and it sounds like the same thing over and over again. Yeah. And I know that's the big complaint a lot of people have about Nickelback.
Yeah.
Of which, of course, I always ask the person who's hating on Nickelback. I go, "Oh, what do you think about AC/DC?" Love AC/DC. They kick ass. How about Bon Jovi? Oh yeah, they're wicked. And I go, and your complaint about Nickelback again is,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
right.
Because AC/DC wrote a song years ago before I was born, and then they came back and they wrote another song in 2010 or whatever it was, and I'm listening to that song going, this sounds like the first song you ever released.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's funny because it's absolutely
'Cause
true.
It's patriarchy.
well, that too. But
What band of women? My turn. What band of women could get away with that for that long?
All right,
playing the same
fair
song
enough.
basically 100,000 times. Am I right?
Fair enough, though. But remember, on the PubCast, we don't get into.
Oh no, that was just about music.
Okay.
Mademoiselle Fox, how's your mental health today?
It's good, thank you. I had a beautiful lunch with one of my favorite women in the world, and
Her daughter.
Yep. And I made lunch. I made extras for leftovers for dinner, and I get to be here now and have a cup of tea with y'all.
Lovely. So who did you see last
Nice.
night, Kyle?
who did I see last night? Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I sang last night actually.
Oh, nice.
No way.
Yeah. Let's go through all the bands so I don't forget anybody because I love all of them. But I sang with my buddy Alex and their band.
What band is that? Gotta
Give me a
look it up.
couple of minutes. Give me a couple of minutes.
No worries. Don't want to put you on the spot.
Listen, if you're hearing me, I love you guys. Gosh. So Rockin' Engine was the closing band, and they like to put on like theatrical events in the concert and everything like that. And
Where was the show?
it was over at
Wow.
yeah. Oh, my memory is just Brass Monkey.
Oh, the Brass
At the
Monkey.
Brass
Yeah.
Monkey. At the Brass Monkey.
Yeah.
Now I'm coming to my brain over here. Here we go. So I put it all on Facebook. This is why I have everything on Facebook. This is
So you remember? Yeah.
let me tell you.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, so show at Brass Monkey. My friends in Beyond Driven were supposed to play, but they had to drop out. So another band took over, and then I went up and sang with another band, and then these guys came out, and there was, I think, 30 different quote unquote actors and actresses.
Oh wow!
In this performance.
That's big because that's not that big of a stage.
It's not wasn't all at the same time.
No, of course not.
Here and there, like
you couldn't fit them all on the stage at once.
The scene I was in, I play basically a version of Jack Torrance, and from The Shining. And I ran across the stage chasing my wife, my quote unquote wife, who's actually the drummer's wife. Yeah, with a mallet, actually.
Oh, a mallet.
A mallet. True to the book.
Yes, because the movie he had an axe, in the book he had. That's right, because it was a Stephen King novel.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm a huge Stephen King fan, and one of the bars. So the first show that I did with them, I've done 3 now. First show I did with them, the axe was no problem. Second show, the bar was like, well, "Do you need to use an axe?" And I'm like, "Well, this is the only thing we have now at this point. Otherwise, I'm just chasing her across the stage, and there's no."
Right, just chasing. Hey, you have to have the weapon. Right, tonight.
And so before this show, I mentioned, hey, why don't we just stay true to the book? Anyone that knows the book will appreciate it, and anyone that doesn't know the book will appreciate the fact that we're not bringing an axe into a bar.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Like a mallet. Oh, okay, we can. That's
yeah.
And an axe is a
I'm
tool
not going to
as well,
chop her. I'm just going to tenderize her a little bit.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. No, if I wanted to use an axe, we'd have to pretend I was who was it? Nurse was it Nurse Jackie, or who was it?
Nurse Jackie
from Misery.
Yes, Annie.
Yeah.
Annie Wilkes.
Who was it?
Yes.
Annie.
Annie Wilkes.
Annie. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't read that book in
You don't need no
one
cockadoodie
year.
axe.
Yeah.
Did you read Cujo?
I haven't read Cujo yet.
Oh, it's good.
I
It's
read
really
it when
good.
I was about 13 in rural Manitoba, babysitting by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, obviously with children, but you know, and I was like 13. I've never been so scared in
Really?
my life.
Pet
Oh,
Cemetery. You ever read Pet
That's
That's a great book.
About
Yeah.
the thinner.
The Shining was great. Pet Cemetery was great. It, brilliant. Loved it. Although the last chapter was like, and then they killed the beast. I'm like, so what? Did you just get bored with writing and just end it?
Yeah.
The same thing was with the Tommyknockers. I think I'll just end it here. Like that, the ending's disappointing because the book, I was gripping from page 1, and the ending was kind of like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed From a Buick 8 as well, the book. I haven't seen any movies for it yet.
I've not read that one.
No, it's
How about
Christine?
well, so it's sort of a version of Christine,
Okay.
but a little different,
Okay.
a little from the perspective of something else.
Well, and I used to be a voracious reader, and I say used to be because at any given moment I get 5 or 6 books on the go. But because I'm working 75, 80 hours a week right now, plus the puppy dog, as Bridget can attest, at the end of the day, it's like brainless Netflix stuff. Of course, because of ADHD brain, I'll have my phone going, and I'm talking to people, and I'm watching videos, and there's a thing playing, and she's like, "This is too much. You need to shut something off." I'm like, "What? I'm relaxing. This is how I relax. I unplug my brain from all the other stuff, and I just do this." He's like, "That's too much. Can you just bring it down? Bring it down."
Yep.
So I'll sit back, relax, and listen to some jazz.
Yeah. Kyle, have you read Thinner?
Oh my gosh, Thinner is one of my favorites. Absolutely. I
could not put it down.
oh
I
my
think I read
goodness.
it in 2 days. I was just like carrying it everywhere, up at night under the blankets that one scared the living daylights out of me.
Right from the second he walks by the gypsy, I'm just like, okay, this is it. I'm reading the rest of this right now.
Yep.
I think I stayed up
Everything.
overnight to read it.
Yep,
Yeah.
same here. That one I could not put down.
Yeah.
I love
what an
that one.
amazing
The thing, I've said it to Paul before, but the things that frighten me are things that I don't know whether or not they could be real.
Yep.
Or not. So just like some curse, just like Thinner. It's like, and then you just like start losing weight, and the concept of like just losing weight until you have no more weight to lose.
Yeah.
That is scary. that I don't. Yeah, that one just. Yeah. But so riveting. I loved that.
People
book.
wish for something and then don't realize. Don't realize. If your wish comes true. It could be detrimental to your health and.
Oh yeah, hell. Slide over, brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, slide over. You can use this mic.
I can use it.
Yeah, it's all good. Oh, there you go. And we'll tighten up the shot a little bit here, so we can.
Do me a favor. You pass me the seat on that wheelchair.
Oh yeah. You're gonna need that. Yeah,
I
definitely.
figure I'll just sit up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Because right now it's here.
Yeah.
And like 20% of my face is the mic.
Behind the mic. Yeah.
I mean,
There's a certain amount of compensation I can do.
it is helping me look better.
Oh.
No, I have a nice beard. Thank you. Oh, please. What are you having?
I'm having Floral Hall. It's an English bitter from Floral Hall. They call it Flora Amber.
Flora Amber. One of those.
It's 3.5%. It's a light beer.
Done.
And it tastes like a beer. That's the best part.
I hate getting drunk when I go to concerts.
I hear you. But it's nice to be able to have a nice light beer, and enjoy, hanging out. There we go. Look at that. You're fully in the shot now. Let's just just blow this up a bit. How's that look? There we go. And I'll tighten the shot up. I can tighten it up. I have the technology. And there we go. Oh,
look at that. Look at this.
There we go.
Look, there's no split screen. It's the two of us. We're sitting here together.
In person. Live. In person. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
This makes me happy.
I think so. It makes me happy. I like that we can. I like that we can do this. It was like I just thought I'll send you the link, and if you want to pop in for a bit, and I'm like, well, here's where we are. If you want to pop by, like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, I have nothing to do till like at least 5:30. So.
Oh yeah, like it's 4:23. Let's see what the hill looks like. It's piss and rain. There's nobody on it. There's literally nobody on it right now. Check this out. It's pouring rain. Oh yeah, there's nobody on the hill.
No.
Everybody's like 4:20, 4:20. Oh, it's raining. I think I'll leave.
Just as I was about to spark up, man. What's the deal?
That's funny. Hey man, like don't ruin my buzz, bro.
That's crazy.
Oh no!
I think that's hilarious. So we've got, let's see, there's about almost 700 people watching in the live feed right now. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because we're on multiple platforms, right? And we're going to be working with a new company, a different company than the one we've been working with, that will put us on even more platforms. And they will actually, as Douglas, you saw the email, did you not?
For?
Oh, you didn't see this email? Oh, it was from Rook.
Which one?
Oh, I'll find it and send it to you.
One?
Yes, that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Because they're gonna sell ad space for us too. So
that would be so nice.
This is good. So it's enough having to do all the tech stuff and then the production stuff and then to do the on-air stuff and I love every aspect of it. But it's like we need to pursue sponsors. We need to pursue advertisers. And I'm like, I have a full-time day job too. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. Plus, I have all my other personal projects that I do, and I'm helping to produce Mademoiselle Fox's show now too, because she's getting into podcasting. So it's nice that we'll have somebody we'll find advertisers for you, and you'll get paid.
Yes,
that's awesome. That's like great news. You know?
And I like that because it says that you get to. It's not you don't just have to take anyone that comes along. You can actually choose them.
Exactly.
As well, which is nice, so that hopefully you can choose people that go that companies and that go with your brand and stuff.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I've gotten fuzzy again for some reason, so I'm going to try and jump in and out to see if that fixes the camera.
I can't tell from here, so we'll do a cheers while you're jumping in and out. We'll just do an on-camera cheers. We got a cheers, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good beer. That's a good. See, 3.5% tastes like a beer.
Mm-hmm.
And brewed right here, actually a couple of blocks from here, over on Flora Hall, Flora and Bank. That's where it's from, Flora Hall Brewing. So local. Yeah.
Sweet.
We like to support local whenever we can.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone at home. Sociable
to everybody who is watching. A lot of them are on X or Twitter. Yeah, a lot of them. Because we go through different feeds. I don't know how many are on our YouTube channel at this time. I think there's about 20 on the YouTube channel. The rest are through Twitter, multiple Twitter feeds, actually, Twitch. I don't know how many watch on Twitch, to be honest with you. But the feed's there, so we'll put it out. But the bulk of the audience comes from Twitter or X. That used to be the sign, by the way. If you're of a certain age, and you would go to a club in either Montreal or Ottawa, and you would walk up to the bar, and the music was so loud you couldn't think. You would just walk up to the bartender, and he'd say, "What can I got you?" And he'd be like, "Give me an X, Molson X." Just literally do that. And he would slide an X across. Back when the choice was Molson or Bud.
Yeah.
Molson or Labatt, basically. It's like, what do you have on tap? I think we have Guinness. Most places did have Guinness. But that was kind of it. They might have had 50 on tap, which was... although, admittedly, I had an ice cold 50 somewhere recently. Or maybe that was 3 years ago. I don't know. And it tasted really good. It was a hot day, and somebody offered it to me. And, it's a Pilsner. So a hot day of Pilsner is a very refreshing beer. This is a great beer. Basically from... I'd say late September until about May. Hot patio drink? No, it does not go over well. And I remember a couple of years ago in Canada Day, we're sitting on the patio here with me and a couple of buddies, and it did not work well. I was like, I had one, and I was kind of like, that didn't sit right. And I looked at my buddy, who's from Yorkshire, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to switch it up to a lager or a pilsner." It just in the extreme hot way. It's like I love Guinness. 28 degrees outside. Nope, not having it. Just not having it.
Yep. No. And I'm pretty new to the darker brews.
Oh yeah.
So like, I mean, even the amber ale, I'm only 5 years in, give or take. Yeah.
But that has flavor, right? And again, 3.5%. So you're not going to get pickled. You can have one or two and just cruise on home. Whereas if you have, it's funny. A couple of years ago, a group of us were out on a Friday night, and one of my buddies says, 3 pints is the perfect amount on a Friday night. And my buddy looks at him, he goes, "Do you know how much beer that actually is?" And he goes, 3 pints. He goes, "That's a 6-pack." And he went, "What?" And we did the math in front of him, and I think it's about this much short of a 6-pack. And he's like,
wow.
"Oh, that's why I feel so happy then." I'm like, yeah. You had 6 beer in an hour, effectively.
That's funny. I never even thought about it.
Well, they're 20 ounce, right?
You have one of these. I didn't even think about how many ounces in one of these.
It's 20.
Just have one of these, and I figure, okay, yeah, it's a bottle of beer. Pour it in there.
Except it's
not.
It's a bottle and a bit.
Not,
yeah. So I think the difference is like literally about that much. Like it's so close to being a full 6-pack. It's crazy. Mr. Beaver, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm
okay. Sorry.
Did I stop moving?
No. I look at my phone and I can see you moving, but on our monitor, you're frozen because the download speed on the Wi-Fi today is like at 2 megabits. So I can't get full live. The upload is at 10, so that's why we're able to do a show. Thankfully, we can hear you loud and clear. When we first logged on this afternoon, though, it was like you were. So I was like, that wasn't going to work. All worked out. We're looking at June 15th, Dan. June 15th. These are 20 ounce pints, actually. Anticorporatus. These are 20 ounce, not 16. Canadian pints are, some places serve 16 ounce pints, but the pubs I go to serve 20 ounce pints. So yeah, it's a bit more. So you have 3, that's 60 ounces. That's a jug of beer is 3 pints. And then do the math. 341 milliliters is a little less than 12 ounces. So, yeah. We do British pints here, which are 20 ounce. The American pint is 16. Some places in Ottawa do serve 16. Like if you go to, I was at a what is it? At Lansdowne, the public. Local public house, I think it's called. It's a nice spot, and they only serve 16-ounce pints. So my buddy's like, "Yeah, the beer's cheaper there," and I go, "You're getting less." He goes, "Well," and I go, "They serve 16-ounce pints. These are 20. You're getting more." He goes, "Oh, that's why." Simple math, right? The schooner, yeah, schooners here are 30 ounces, I think. 30 or 40 ounces for schooners. I can't remember. There's a couple places around here that serve schooners. Not a lot, but there are a few places that serve them.
I haven't drink out in a bit.
Are you joining us for a moment?
Sure.
Okay. You want some
if there's a new topic.
We're just talking about beer.
Yes, I know. Let's talk about something like rhubarb.
Rhubarb. Ooh, rhubarb.
Because now it's sexy time. It's rhubarb time. I went home this morning.
Sexy rhubarb?
Sexy rhubarb.
Sexy rhubarb.
It's so sexy.
I'll have to zoom out to get you in the shot there, babe.
Well, that's okay. I was at home this morning and checking on my garden, mucking about as I do. And I'm a sort of my neighbor who's an excellent gardener. She says
she's an excellent gardener.
She is though. She's amazing.
I was doing my Rain Man impersonation. I'm an excellent gardener. Excellent gardener.
I got it.
Rain Man. Sorry.
And
region.
So, anyways, she's like, I ask her for advice. I'm like, Ange, what should I do? She's like, Bridget, it doesn't matter what I tell you. You're a New Zealand gardener. I'm like, what is that? She's like, You just throw things in and hope it goes. So
Throw it at the wall and see what sticks, right?
Alongside the side of my house, I have like enough fruit for the summer and I do nothing. I have fresh mint. I've got rhubarb that my neighbors come and help me harvest. Like everybody loves the rhubarb, right? And it just, I do nothing.
Switch it up. Can you get closer?
I have wild strawberries and they're about to pop.
And I'll take this one just so you get a little bit more audio. That's all.
I also have a Saskatoon berry tree, or it's also called the service berry tree.
Okay.
And it has so much fruit on it that I'm like, I pick as much as I can. My neighbors help me pick, and then the birds and the squirrels get the rest. So anyway, rhubarb.
You sure? Oh, yeah, it's cool. It's totally cool. Well, I want you to be able to
get closer to that one.
Well, the leaves are up. Sorry, the leaves are up, but the berries aren't out yet.
Complicated. Sorry, guys. I'm talking at the same time.
Yeah.
I meant to mute this.
I'm sorry. We had a very important question about wild strawberries. Douglas.
If you want to get closer.
Yes. Sure. Okay. There you go. No, it's just I just didn't want them to be talking directly into the mic, so because then that was cutting you off.
That's okay.
I did know about wild strawberries being ready this early because I think like regular strawberries are June, right?
Yeah, you're right. No, I should say the leaves have come out.
Oh,
like
the
leaves are popping out. The berries aren't there yet.
Okay.
So you are correct.
And
I just thought it was something I had heard of that had an early crop.
No,
whenever
you're right.
rhubarb comes out, you always have like the strawberry rhubarb jam that people make or the compotes, and I thought like.
I do like strawberry rhubarb.
It's clearly not fresh strawberries at the same time as fresh rhubarb because it's different seasons.
So delicious.
When you said wild strawberries, I thought, maybe there was a variety that
came out
early.
Sorry, I misspoke. But but the rhubarb is popping. It's coming up. It's not ready to pick yet, but Dan, we often talk about pie, the best kinds of pie. Strawberry rhubarb, I'm sorry, is the best. And
hello.
Right?
I would do things. I would do things
pie.
I would be ashamed to tell my mother about for strawberry rhubarb pie.
Okay, you get a pie, and you get a pie, and you get a pie.
So, what's your favorite pie?
My favorite. I have 3 favorite pies.
Okay,
and they're quite similar to my 3 favorite beers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lay it on us.
The difference is I like cold beer, but I like warm pie.
Right? That's it.
Right. I like
warm pie over cold pie. I'll eat cold if it's cold. I'll still eat. It's pie. I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, that's number 3. Number 3, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Apple.
Yes.
Right. Is 2. Everyone. Yes. And then free. Is number 1.
Free is the best.
Yeah.
It's like what's your favorite beer? Free.
Yeah.
That's no argument. No argument.
I know I got scolded a little earlier about being political. This is a little bit political. It's about pie, apple pie.
How's that political?
I'm joking.
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
No.
Apple pie with cheddar cheese on top, warm.
Oh,
I had that actually.
Bam.
It's good.
Sharp old cheddar.
Yeah. You haven't had Dorothy's apple pie yet, though. It is to murder for. Not to die. It's to murder for.
Well,
because her pastry is that good. You're like, I would kill for this recipe.
Awesome. Well, her jam is amazing, so I'm sure her pastry is perfect.
And the pastry is from my grandmother on my dad's side, her mother-in-law, who passed away in like 70 or 71. So unfortunately I don't remember her, but everybody just raves about how wonderful she was. And she loved my mother so much that she said, I will give you this recipe. And there were people in the family that were mad at my mother for decades for that. And I'm like,
I believe it.
She didn't do anything. It was given to her, for crying out loud. Like, she's like, I love this recipe. I will give it to you then, dear. So there were people who literally hated. First, there was. Yeah, I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to leave it out. No, it was a political thing, and I'm going to leave it out. But there were people who were angry at my mom for decades because she got the pastry recipe. And growing up as a kid, eating pastries like, and then I was 19 or 17 or 18 or 19. I can't remember how old I was when I left home for the first time, and I was out somewhere, and I was having dinner with somebody, and they offered me a piece of pie, and I was like, what is this horrendous thing that I'm eating? I ate it, I ate it and was smiling, but I'm like, what is this terrible thing that I just put in my mouth? This is like the worst tasting pie I've ever had. And then I was talking to my parents a couple of weeks later, and I'm like, I never got it before, but now I do. It's like one of those things. If all you've ever eaten in your life is spaghetti, and then somebody serves you filet mignon, and then you go back home and you have spaghetti, and you go, it's still good. And then you go somewhere else and you have somebody else's spaghetti, and you're like, oh, what have you done? Why are there wieners in the spaghetti? What is this? What is that orange flavor in the spaghetti sauce? Gatorade. You put Gatorade powder in the spaghetti. Are you high?
Nobody does that.
Actually,
Today they might
some
be.
do. Some do. And today, of all days, they definitely are high. It's funny though. It's true. A dude I know years ago. Come on over I'm gonna have a big spaghetti. Yeah. And I'm like, my friend tells me just before we get there, oh, by the way, he puts wieners in the spaghetti sauce. I'm like, what? Sausage, right? No, wieners. So not meat sauce, like not ground beef or ground chuck or ground what? No, wieners. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to pass judgment. If that's all you've ever known, okay. But I'm kind of like, not something I would do.
I have a recipe that I learned from my brother Harley. He's younger than me. He worked on a crew that would, doing industrial work in the States, and he was the crew boss. And they had some
sausage comment.
Okay. I got nothing after that.
Okay, who wants to read that one officially into the record? Who wants to read that one officially into the record? Okay, Ken Saucy just said, I could be higher than giraffe pussy and there will not be wieners going into my sauce.
Oh my God.
Oh, it has so many levels.
Oh, God.
Saucy, I just
your
peed my
wiener out of
pants.
my sauce.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was good. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I love, and Bridget can attest to this, in the summertime, what I want to eat, hot dogs. I love hot dogs. Give me a hot dog. Give me mustard, relish, ketchup, maybe a little hot sauce, some chopped up onions. Oh, that is... I think that was on Seinfeld. What's your favorite sandwich? A hot dog. How's that a sandwich? You got your meat, you got your condiments, you got your bread. How's that not a sandwich? Oh my God, he's right. It's my favorite sandwich. Yep. Give me at a football game, at a Red Blacks game in the summertime. God, yes. Oh,
yep. Oh. Don't they have those 2-foot ones?
Yeah, they do. The 2-foot long ones. Literally, it's like this long. You get one and you eat it with 3 of your friends because it's too much. It's like, this is 3 pounds of meat.
Why am I sharing Douglas, with 2 friends?
Douglas, are you going to say it or am I going to say it? Too much wiener? Is that? Well, I don't think that's a thing.
I mean,
well, there's such thing as too much wiener at once.
Oh,
y'all can do
all right. Okay. See if I can find this picture. I got a picture.
As they say, in life you can't have it all. You just can't have it all at once.
All right.
Words of wisdom.
I got a photo here from a couple of years ago.
Didn't think the podcast would match that comment from.
Oh, that was
from Saucy. Here we go. That's the winner. I would say.
Oh yeah, that one's that's.
Saucy gets a prize for, I don't know, a mug, something? I don't know. I'm not in charge of these things.
How high are you? I'm higher than giraffe.
Okay, I got a picture here of me in Frankfurt having a... Wait, hang on, let me see if I can find this. Let's see. I got it. No, that's not it.
Who needs a 2-foot wiener?
I'm trying to find a photo of me in Frankfurt at a restaurant with my friend. And I'm sitting there with this gigantic bloody sausage in front of me. And it was like, I'll find it here. I got thousands of photos to sort through. Stop that. My machine's not behaving. This is, yeah, I think it's like,
Well, maybe Super
No,
Kyle could
here it
say
is.
something instead of us listening to you,
Yes,
Sir.
Kyle,
Randy
tell us what
and
you know
photos.
about Wiener.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Settle down.
Jeez.
What do you know about Wiener? Really?
What?
Oh, I don't know where it is. I don't have the photo. Oh well, it's not here. Alas.
Oh, we're trying to keep it off political today, and I got here and I didn't use paratransport. So
Oh. Wow. You didn't?
Well,
Ah.
how could I have? You can't book same day.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Yeah. No, good point. Yeah. Yeah. Which is redonkulous. Redonkulous.
I missed
I'm
that.
going to, well, I'm going to go see a man about a horse. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. You missed my comment.
Yes. Yes, I did.
I got to the bar and I found out same day, and you can't book same day trips on paratransport.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to keep it non-political, and I'm trying to keep it non-political. So, I'll try and leave it there. But that's sort of what my life's been like. Yesterday, I got, or this morning at 12:30, I got a ride home, and paratransport tried to tell me that I wasn't allowed to book a ride home after midnight. And I said, well, no, you can book 24 hours. You just have to have it approved. And the person said, well, I'm going to go speak to my manager. I said, you do that. And they came back and they said, okay, sir, your ride is booked. Yeah, it is booked because I'm the guy that made it happen. So, I'll just be sitting here sipping my beer. Listen, I'm not Kermit the Frog. I don't drink tea, okay?
Yeah. No, I can see that. It's like, yeah, go ahead, check. You'll see.
Yeah.
I'm right. Yeah, I know that. It's like, I know I'm right. The policy exists because of me.
Absolutely. Question for you
Yes.
while we're on here. Do you have Facebook?
Me, personally? Yeah.
Can I find you?
Yes, absolutely.
If I add you, will you add me back?
Of course I will. Like you have to ask.
We have 4 friends in common. Ooh.
I'm just a beaver looking at a Kyle, just asking him to love me.
Okay. We have 1 friend in common and 3 acquaintances.
Oh, we do. Okay, I'm guessing Paul's 1.
Yeah.
that will pop up. Can't wait to find out who the others are.
Friends that I've sort of met along the way that I haven't really kept up with.
Hmm.
You know what? I was just thinking.
You said,
I climbed over all this stuff to get in and out of here. Hang on, I'll take my mic off mute so you
Do you want to throw it on my chair?
No, it's good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I was just thinking, you're saying you don't want to get political about, getting here and mobility issues. Now, that is not political, man. It's not. It's not
That's
political.
life.
It's not. It's not. It's talking about having the ability to move around, and that is not political. That's a simple, basic human right.
Okay.
So don't even think negatively.
It's also talking about your life.
Yes. Yeah. And the show is about talking about our life experiences on Saturday at the PubCast. That's not a political thing. It's not. It's not. So don't even think.
But here's the thing, right? Sometimes life is political.
Yeah.
I remember when I was coming out, there was this thing going around that says, like, never forget that you as a queer person or as a rainbow person, every single day you choose to exist in public space, you are committing an act of rebellion. It's like your life is political. The fact that you exist is political. So, I mean, there are certain things that can't be avoided, but, it's as opposed to talk about this politician or that politician or this, it's like, if you're not, holy crow, really? Any chance that you have to book? Like who lives like that? I mean, everybody has some stuff that they have 2 weeks in advance, like the doctor. But who lives like that? It's like, hey, you want to go grab a coffee tomorrow? Sorry, 2 weeks in advance.
I have to book 2 weeks in advance.
That's
when's your coming for you
that
next?
Way.
Yeah. Again, that's not political. It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not. It's life. It's simple living, and wow.
I'd like to know who on their city council looks at that and goes, "Oh, that's okay.
That's reasonable."
Danielle Washam.
Shit. Wow.
I got to be honest with you. That is why I started, and this is totally contrived. maybe a little off topic, but that's why I started crowd surfing in my wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
I did that. I did rappelling.
Yeah.
And so I started doing all this stuff so that people would see that guy's in a wheelchair doing this.
Yeah.
How is he in a wheelchair doing this? I've been trained my whole life that people in wheelchairs just sit in their room and stare at the wall.
That's horse shit.
You know, and no, that's not what happens at all. There are people in government that use wheelchairs. There are leaders in the world that use wheelchairs, and wheelchairs have been around for 500 years. All they are is another way to accomplish the goal that you have in your day. For example, I wear glasses. If all I did was wear glasses and I didn't use a wheelchair, no one would ever think I'm any different whatsoever.
Well, and the thing is, I take my glasses off so that I don't get too much reflection.
Yep.
Right? But
I got the anti-glare.
Oh yeah. These are supposed to be, but they still reflect.
Oh no.
Yeah, see, you can see the lights in them?
Yep.
But I take them off because, well, here's the thing. My eyes adjust enough so that I can see the screen. It's a little blurry, but I can live with it. And these are progressive trifocal, right? So
trifocal might be messing with you at that point.
That's the thing. It's like, I'll take them off because it's fine for a lot of stuff. But when I'm looking at the screen like this, it's like, no, I take them off. But yeah, my glasses are a mobility device, period. I can't drive a car without them. Hell, I can walk around without them. But if somebody waves to me, I'm like, I don't know who that person is.
Nope.
Like literally, that has happened where I've been sitting there at work, just doing this, take my glasses off at the computer. And I'm like, I'm going to run out and grab a coffee. And I get across the street and I can't read the menu. I'm like, just give me a black coffee and a donut. I can't see the menu. What do you mean? I forgot my glasses. And somebody will wave, hey, Paul. I'm like, I don't know who you. Hey, how you doing? I have no idea who it is. No idea who it is.
Makes you feel any better? I had like 3 people honk at me while I'm walking down the road yesterday. So they just kept driving. And then I got 3 texts. Hey, it was me that honked at you on the road. Where along the road were you?
We have another guest in the green room.
All right.
The anti-corporatist. We'll bring him in, and he looks like he's in his truck. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, you know what? You reminded me that I need to clean my glasses. Yeah, I'm in the truck. My actually newly ex co-driver is asleep in my guest bedroom, and my wife is on one.
Oh wow!
So yeah, she's cleaning the house because we're having that bonfire tomorrow night.
Okay.
So
nice.
she's like, oh hey, clean this, clean that, and I'm like, I'm gonna go call into my friend's podcast. She's like, you're also calling in a podcast. I'm like, okay.
And where are you right now?
My place in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're not on the road right now.
No. I'm. I was gonna take this next week off anyway, and then my bosses were like, "Oh, hey, we can't guarantee your salary anymore, so you'll just be by the mile." So my co-driver was like, "See ya," and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna look into some stuff. I'm gonna look into some stuff too," and then it turns out that I gotta wait for some stuff to clear off my record, so I'm probably stuck with these guys for a minute. But don't tell them.
Okay. You were saying earlier that the Tesla rig.
Tesla said
you earn more money at that.
Well, so here's the thing about the Tesla Semi. The Tesla Semi, the main thing about it is, y'all know about regenerative braking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, so for those that don't know, because, you're not the only ones here. Basically, if you run a motor in reverse, it's a generator. So anytime you have a motor, you can turn it manually yourself and it generates power. So with the Tesla Semi, they have 3 of these motors that are like, they're huge. And so when you're going downhill, they run them in reverse and it generates power. Now, usually when you're in a truck, you go downhill, you'll hear the trucks going, bap, 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 bap. It's engine braking. It's compression braking. You're still burning diesel fuel going down that hill. With the Teslas, you're going down that hill and you're just watching your battery go.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, just that itself is such a huge energy savings. And then also electricity. I've had an electric car before. Electricity is just, the batteries really weigh a lot, but at the end of the day, so for instance, I had a Nissan Leaf, and its MPE, its mile per gallon equivalent, or its MPGE was 119. So whereas my Ford Mustang
Crazy.
got 19 miles to the gallon, my Nissan Leaf got 119 miles to the gallon. It's a huge difference. And so so Tesla made a commitment. Elon, I hate that guy, but he's still occasionally, he's the broken clock. Every once in a while, he's still like, okay.
Yeah.
You're still
Otherwise,
in there.
ruining our democracies. But sure, cool, electric vehicles.
Yeah.
But in the
There's
case
some
of that,
pictures
they've made a
still in there.
commitment. They've made a commitment to let you buy from their superchargers at 14 cents a kilowatt hour, 7 cents a kilowatt hour, and then it's the trucks average 2 kilowatt hours a mile in fuel consumption. So basically 14 cents a mile. Whereas in this beast here, this is like one of the more fuel efficient trucks out there. I get anywhere from, if I have a really heavy load and I'm doing a lot of hills, it can be 4 miles per gallon. Up to like if I have like a light load, or like the other day when I was driving, that was yesterday. I was driving across Wyoming down to Denver, and you don't think about it. I mean, Denver's a mile high, but Wyoming, where I started the day, is like 9,000 feet high. So I'm like, wow, I'm getting really great mileage. It was like 12 miles a gallon. No wind. The wind will really fuck you up too. But so anyway, but basically at the end of the day, I'm probably spending 70 cents a mile in diesel fuel and diesel exhaust fluid, which for obvious reasons you don't need with an electric truck. There's diesel exhaust and diesel exhaust fluid. So yeah, if I could get
savings are huge then. Your savings are huge.
Yeah. So basically I can drive 750 miles a day in a great day. That's an amazing day. That's like, I wake up, get on the highway, go 75 miles an hour, like across, take a leak, take a break, blah, 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 end my day, 750. My personal record's probably like about 765. I don't know what that is in Canadian units.
600 miles is 1,000 kilometers. So
yeah,
you can do some math from there. It's about 1,200 kilometers or
1,200
kilometers,
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah. So anyway, if I could get my hands on one of those, I could save myself like $350 in fuel a day.
I've done the like 1,000 kilometer trek to visit family in New Brunswick. It's about a 10-hour drive. I can't remember what I spent on fuel. I haven't driven it in a number of years now, but it's a long drive, and it's it's not on a 4-lane highway the entire way.
Right.
I'd say about maybe 2/3 is 4-lane, and then after that it's single lane, and some of it is like almost dirt road. So
when you say single lane, you mean 1 lane each way?
Yeah.
Or 1 lane shared. Okay.
1 lane each way. So I guess double lane, not double lane highway, but
no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and then there's the dirt road stretch, which is technically 2-lane, but not really. Sometimes,
right?
You got to stay away from the shoulder, because if you're on the shoulder, you're going in the ditch. Yeah.
Most of the interstate highway system here in the U.S. is 2 lanes each way. Yeah. Some of it's divided, some of it's not. It kind of depends on what it's doing, and then of course. In trucking, we have an expression that there's 2 seasons. There's winter and there's construction.
Yeah. Well, that's Montreal.
That's life in Montreal. I was about to say that, life in Montreal.
No, I mean, basically it just means once winter is done, everybody's constructing stuff everywhere. Yep. So,
Constantly.
I was making great time yesterday, aside from the 320 mile each stretches when I was down to 1 lane. And it had like merged me onto the other side. So, there's just cones between me and the oncoming traffic. But that's okay. I'm a pro. I can do that. Plus, I got this big moose guard on the front of the truck. My co-driver took this thing into a freaking what do you guys call those Jersey barricades? The concrete things on the side of the road. He was confused whether he needed to take 35E north or 35E north express, and at that exact moment, some pop-up popped up over his second GPS where he was like, oh, I need to, just a millisecond too late. Bam. It only bent that thing. That was pretty amazing to me, So I'm not worried. I'm not worried about myself. You know what I mean? I mean, like, unless I drive off a cliff, I'm good. However, it is entirely possible that, Yes, some of the roads are pretty bananas.
Well, and it's I've lived in Newfoundland and spent a good chunk of my life in Montreal. And the funny thing is, Saucy C, which is correct. Some of the roads in Newfoundland are like, oh my god. And Montreal, a city of like 4 million people plus, a major metropolitan area that's been around for 400 years. It's like, are the roads that old too?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's one of the things.
Oh, you got it. Oh, okay.
Where you don't really want to. Oh, hey, Cassie Lake. Where you don't really want to be driving too much in the what do they call it area, New England, because it was all settled before like big vehicles were a thing,
Right.
And it's like, hey, how many lanes is on this road? And it's like 2 if you're a horse-drawn cart.
And that's it.
This will be fun. My co-driver took the wrong. My ex-co-driver took the wrong exit in New York City, and you know what? When you're calling for the police yourself, you're like, I'm stopped here. I need someone to like escort me out of here. When you're calling the police on yourself, some shit's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
That's not a real normal thing. Thought about being a trucker, but decided on having kids instead.
Yeah.
Makes sense, Saucy. I've seen truckers with their whole families in the truck. That looks a little interesting to me. And then,
really,
unfortunately, I couldn't have the dog in the truck. Although honestly, he was too much dog for me too. He's a half German Shepherd, half Rottweiler, and he was going to be a big dog.
Although it's a good dog to have in the cab when
totally.
You need to run an errand. Don't worry about anything. It's like, my truck is protected.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about. I'd be worried about the person that inadvertently tried to do that. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, great, now I'm going to jail because my dog killed someone. This will be great.
So
he was a real sweetie, but
So there are people that travel with their whole families.
This is my doggo, Lola.
Yeah, with my bad hip though, I was home last weekend. I was walking him, and the weekend before, and I was walking him around, and just like, they really need to be trained right. And of course, that was nothing my wife was gonna do, and I don't have time for it. You got to get them to where they heal and stuff. Like, it's funny when you've seen a well-trained dog, then everybody else's dog that you see, you're just like, bro. I don't know, Paul. Did you crate train yours or?
Well, no, Lola. We've only had her 7 weeks on Tuesday, and she's 3 years old. She was in the in the shelter for 4 months before we got her.
Oh wow!
So she's mellow as can be in the house. Like, honest to goodness, you can ask Bridget in the house. She is so mellow. She just wants to come and cuddle with you. That's it. I get her outside. It's a different story. She sees a squirrel and she goes out of her mind to get the squirrel. She sees other dogs and she goes out of her mind to meet them. Now, when I take her into the dog park and there's lots of dogs, cool as a cucumber. She's just excited and tail never stops and she's so excited. But if I meet, sometimes if I introduce her to another dog and they're both on leashes, and if the one dog snaps at her, one of two things happen. Either she snaps back or she cowers and hides behind me, which is not normal for her breed, because Dogo Argentinos are like, they hunt pumas.
Right. No, you were saying that.
They do. But she's a unique, I think, because she spent 4 months in the shelter. Now, the shelters, they really do a great job at the Ottawa Humane Society. They really do.
Yeah.
But it's still trauma. I mean, you're still basically in a jail cell, right?
Yeah, you're, I may have to go check the shelter if no one's picked him up yet, because technically my wife's best friend had checked him out for her, because I'm like, no, we're not getting rabies shots on all of our cats. That would be ruinous, because we have a undisclosed quantity of cats. It's over a dozen.
And we encountered a kitty cat this morning on this morning's walk, and it was funny. She saw a couple of dogs, and that was a good interaction. Saw a squirrel, lost her shit. Saw a cat walking across the street and just looked at it and went, I'm like, that'll scratch your eyes out. You don't want that. It's kind of like, it's not a puma. A puma I'm not afraid of, but a kitty cat, I don't know what to make of. It was really kind of funny. And the other day we were walking just around the corner from the pub here. There's a cat that sits in the window, but it's outside the window, on the frame, outside the window, and it's hissing and giving you that, don't come near me, I will destroy you. And she looks at the cat. She's kind of like, no, I don't want any part of that. It's really kind of funny because, again, her breed hunts pumas, but little cats like this big, nope, wants no part of it. It's not a bunny and it's not a squirrel.
Statistically speaking, house cats are the most deadly things on the planet. They hunt more things than anything else does.
Well, people go on and on about how windmills and glass buildings kill all the birds. It's like, no, actually, that's a very small percentage compared to house cats. Cats literally destroy more birds than anything. Mm-hmm. You can combine all the other stuff, planes, trains, automobiles, windmills, glass towers. They don't even come close to what house cats do.
Yeah. They kill 10 times. They kill 10 times as many birds as everything else combined.
That's right. I read that about a year or two ago, and I was shocked. Yeah. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, people need to get their cats under control because if they kill all the birds, like if we kill all the bees, put your head between your legs, hit your ass goodbye because there's no planet.
However, you know what? Spay and neuter your cats. There's this one cat shelter in California that my wife used to do some fostering for, like when they were little kitten litters, which of course then you get the foster fails, and that's how we have so many damn cats. I'm like, wait, is that a new black cat? And she was kind of like, nah. And I'm like, it's a new cat, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So we have 4 black cats. African blackfoot cat, the most successful cat hunter. Like it hunts cats too, Mohan. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That's interesting. I don't know about cats hunting cats. That sounds scary AF. But yeah. The dog and the cats. My wife was losing it because like the cats were all hiding, So she's like, "Oh, my cuddle buddies!" And I'm like, "The dog cuddles," and she's like, "It's not the same." Like, okay. But no. So anyway, so this cat rescue that she would volunteer for. They had a poster there, and it was one breeding pair of cats. How many cats can come from that in 7 years? And it was something wild. It was like 42,000 or something insane like that.
Holy shit!
Because I mean, cats, brothers and sisters, they get inbred, but they still breed.
Oh yeah. Well, we used to have here on Parliament Hill. There used to be, and this is going to sound funny when I say this, there used to be a cat house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But here's the thing. Yeah, it was a house with cats.
Is it not there anymore?
No, it was...
Is there a bird something?
I think there's a bird sanctuary on the back of the hill, yeah. But there used to be literally a cat house to the left of Parliament Hill. And people used to go down and watch, and it was this huge house this guy built, and they were feral cats. And they originally brought them into the hill to hunt rats and mice and whatever. And they did a wonderful job of it. They really did. But I guess, and it was all done by donation. So he would go and he would feed. And I guess he got ill and old and decided that he had to retire. And nobody wanted to take it over. He didn't earn a living doing this.
Right.
He was already retired, but he wanted to retire from doing this. Now, he started doing this like 40 years ago or something like that. He was doing it when he was working full time. Then he retired and he kept doing it. And then he was getting old and frail and just couldn't do it. And nobody else wanted to take it over. And they tore the house down. And I don't know where the cats are. They're where they live in the winter, but they're feral. They're Parliament cats. They hunt rats, mice, all the little stuff, right? And they've been there since Parliament was built. Like, honest to goodness, since it was built, they always had cats around for that reason, because rats and mice, and you have to remember, back at like 155, 160 years ago, sanitation wasn't quite what it is today.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, cats were necessary because there was always rats and pigeons and, vermin, if you will. So they were just trying to keep the place normal, whatever normal is.
I don't know. I mean, Parliament still smells like political promises.
Yeah. Yes, it still does smell like political promises.
Right.
That's a good one. That's a really good one, sir.
fairly. I'm sure it's fairly similar to the U.S. government, only less so.
Yeah. Well, so because what's happening with the Wi-Fi feed here today in the pub is that our download speed is really, really slow, but our upload is good, which is why we're able to do the show. So we can hear you, but the video is very choppy. I have my phone up here and we can see everything live. But Douglas froze when he had his hands in his face laughing.
He's still down. He's still down.
Like on our screen, he's still frozen, laughing his head off. So it's kind of funny for us. So where are you off to next, sir?
Mess with them. Yes, where are you off to next?
Oh, did we lose Andy Corpus? Are you frozen?
No, he's moving. I see him. I just can't hear him.
You know what? I went down to scratch my knee, and it's all, your mic is muted. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So you can hear me now?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, very cool.
Where are you off to next?
I have no idea. I'm off this week, and then
okay.
You know, these guys subcontract, and because they're used to doing teams, they're well, congratulations, Elaine. Because they're used to doing teams, they book a lot of stuff at the last minute.
Right.
But I'm trying not to have a teammate again, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen a sleeper in a truck. I'd show you mine, but it's wrecked right now because you know, my co-driver's in the middle of moving out.
My cousin owns a trucking company, and he has, like, I think at one point he had about 6 or 7 trucks.
Oh, wow.
And he was contracting with others. Yeah, he was doing good. He was worth a few $1 million at one point. Then his wife got really sick and almost died. So they almost lost the business because she ran the bookkeeping. Thankfully she recovered, and they're doing okay now. But they had a rough couple of years.
It's a pretty nutty business. It's a pretty hit and miss business. Like, there are a lot of people that. Well, I mean, you know, how do you quit when you're ahead? You know what I mean? Like you're just like, okay, and now I'm retired, you know, and then if you don't do that, then, you know, that couple $1 million cushion that you had, all of a sudden you don't have. You know, and that's kind of what's happening with the guys that hired me. You know, they were able to pay a guarantee when I hired on with them a couple of years ago, and now they're like, hey guys, you know, we've been losing money on you, and, you know, we were kind of like, well, that's not really our problem in the case of my co-driver, you know, because he didn't have those things crowding up his record. He was right. It's not his problem. So, or I'm sorry, her problem. My co-driver, it turns out, is trans. So she is moving on to another place. And I think it'll be really good for her, because it sounds like the place she's going to is really cool.
Okay.
Oh, right on. That's good. Well, and should we discuss that for a second or two? Like, for a second or two, it's like one of the things I was surprised to learn a couple of years ago from my cousin, who's like, oh yeah, like, you'd be blown away by the amount of gay and trans people who drive truck. I'm like, what?
Oh, I
thought that was big macho. And I'm like, really? He goes, oh yeah, you'd be surprised. I had no idea. Not a clue. And it's apparently super common. Didn't know.
Well, I mean, you know, truckers kind of do their own thing. You know, you live in your truck, you drive around places. So, like, you know, I mean, I see what I see, but, you know, you could very well be presenting with, you know, a beard and stuff, and you could be wearing a very nice prairie dress under your Coca-Cola sweatshirt, and no one will ever know. You know?
But that's the thing. It's like, because you have the ability to just live your life the way you want to live it. You're kind of like the last cowboy, right?
Something like that.
You pick up your load and away you go.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It was one of those surprising things, only because we sort of, I would say, society creates this imagery in our head of this big macho dude, and like, no. You don't need to be a big macho strong dude to drive the truck. You can either drive the truck or you can't.
Yeah.
You don't load it and unload it. You drive the truck.
Yeah. For the most part, there are jobs where you do load it and unload it, but you know, I don't generally do those. I mean, that, you know, like I said, at the beginning right before the beginning of the pandemic, I fell down and hurt my sacroiliac joint. And so, so I can stand a little, I can walk a little, but once I've been standing for a little or walking for a little, it starts to hurt more and more and more and more. Whereas apparently I can sit indefinitely. So
Me
it's a
too,
good
buddy.
job for me. You know. So I mean, I now do this for 12 hours a day.
For context, for
Cheers.
people watching, I use a manual wheelchair.
Yeah, if
I
anybody
also
doesn't
crowd
know,
surf that manual wheelchair and treat it like it's
he does.
yeah.
He literally crowd surfs at concerts, at festivals in his manual wheelchair, which is badass.
Interesting. So is it one of those murder ball chairs?
The what?
The murder ball chairs. Have you seen those ones?
Oh, the murder
ball
ball
chairs.
Where they're kind of,
no,
you know,
I like to be able to get into doorways.
Yeah. The murder ball chairs they're big and wide, and you yeah. But he plays sledge hockey, which is badass. And I've seen guys. I've watched sled hockey matches where I've seen guys stabbing each other.
Yep.
Did you say sledge hockey like a sledgehammer?
No. It's so you're strapped into a
sled.
In the US, they call it sled hockey.
Sled hockey. Okay. Yeah.
In Canada, we call it sledge hockey because there's no way you're getting out of that game without at least being hit once.
So then in Canada, is it called a sled hammer?
No.
Well done.
But that's good. That's a good one. Yeah. It's a very good one. I like it.
I mean, maybe that's what you call croquet in Canada. You play it with a puck. Actually, that kind of sounds kind of fun. Puck croquet.
Croquet
kind of sounds kind of fun. Put some English on the puck.
And think of how much harder you have to hit it because it's not going to roll. It's got to slide across the glass, so that there's going to be a whole lot more friction to slow it down. So you really got to whack. It's like playing golf.
I would think you'd play on ice.
Okay, and then it's like everybody's like skating up to the puck, and then like legs open.
Yeah, you gotta heat up the wicket ends so you can sink them into the ice.
Have you ever played crokinole?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so crokinole is a board game, but a different type of board game. It looks like a gigantic stop sign, and there's a ledge. It's huge. I can't remember the measurements, like 36 by 36, if you will, inches. So 3 feet by 3 feet. So almost a meter in diameter. But it's a stop sign. It's an 8-sided board, and there's a like a gutter that is around the outside of it, and in the middle there's a small little place. It's kind of, think of it like curling and I don't know, curling. Well, what you do is you wax the board, and you have I'll say it's got 8 places, so 8 people can play at a time. And the idea is to knock your piece. It's a little disc. Knock it into the center, but there's posts around it, so you got to slide it through the center. You can knock people out of the way. It's a ton of fun, and you can sit around the table and play it. My dad had a crokinole board that was about 160 years old. Whoa. And it was in rough shape, so he refinished it completely, top to bottom, stained it, varnished it. It was beautiful, and we used to play that shit for hours.
Wow.
When, in the 80s and 90s. No, 80s, I guess. And yeah, through the 90s.
I've never heard of it before.
For hours. Crokinole. Yeah, and there's tournaments. You can get into a crokinole tournament, and people bet on it.
I have to look into that.
It's a lot of fun because it's a really simple game. But there's strategy, and you're blocking people, and you can team up with your person to your left and say, okay, let's block that guy, and you can bet on it. It's just a lot of fun. Crokinole. I'll have to look it up.
CROKINOLE, according to Cassie Lake.
There you go.
I may have to look into that, because you know what? At the Mensa conferences, they're always looking for new board games. Those guys are all about board games.
Yes.
There we go. Crokinole board game.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, it's there. So I see one that's round, but I'm like, that's not it. It's got to be an 8-sided board, right?
Go
Crokinole Canada.
You know what?
Crokinole.ca. Crokinole, the Maple Marvel.
I actually have
These
an
are round,
octagonal
though.
poker table somewhere. Do I? No. You know what? I might have left that with my dad's house. My mom.
I've never seen a round board before.
Is it the size of a small dinner table?
Well, see, the thing is, the board is usually hexagonal, but the play area, that scoring area, is round. So when you have a round board, it just doesn't have.
Okay, yeah.
It's hexagonal. It's not octagonal.
Yeah,
Well,
octagonal.
it's sort of, yeah. So the board, the play area is round, correct, and the octagonal is just
Hold
for
on.
seating, and it's like the gutter area. if
Makes
you will.
sense. Yeah.
Crokinole.
There we go.
They play it with curling rocks? Okay.
Yeah, there we
Well,
go. Yeah, there we go.
There's a winter version. Remember, we had it on the
So
show,
it's,
that little clip about croquet curl or something?
Yeah, exactly. I've seen that, yeah. So that's a crokinole board, and there's the 8-sided, octagonal board, so you sit people at each corner, and the play area is round, but the gutter is, I haven't played it in a number of years, but we used to play it a lot when we were younger, and it's just so much fun. It's just silly, harmless fun. And if you've never played and you have an opportunity to play, give it a go. It's a good time.
Yeah, check that out.
It really is a good time. Yeah. What I can't see a damn thing in here. What time is it? What time do you got to get to your show? It's 5:20. You got some time, right?
It's probably like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
It's actually
Okay, so you got
4:20 Central.
7.
Well, it was
Cheers,
4:20 here in
Central.
Well, so here's the funny thing. So when 4:20 hit in Ottawa, it was pissing rain, like
that's what you said.
pissing rain. And now I'm looking at. I just looked at the Parliament Hill
It
webcam.
rained
I'll put
just
it
in
back
time
on
for
the
the
screen.
event, didn't it?
Yeah,
It's freaking gorgeous out right now.
It was pouring rain at 4:20, and now look at it, sunshine and clear.
Fire pit down there.
I think that's really funny. And what happened there?
Whoops.
Where did we go? There we go. Yeah, no problem, brother. One of the things I find funny these days about come on, we gotta do the whole 420 celebration. I'm like, why? Why? It's legal in Canada. You can buy it everywhere. Why would you need
there
to?
we go.
Like the whole point of the 420 protest on the Hill was make it legal, make it purchasable, make it this. I'm like, well, it is now. So why are you going to the Hill on 420? Like, why?
Yeah.
But
you know what? I have. Go ahead. I have a buddy of mine who I haven't seen in a while, but back in like the late 80s, early 90s, he was like, legalize it, man, legalize it. And I wonder what the he's going to say now, Yeah, that's right. He's probably now he's probably like, legalize heroin. That guy.
He's one of those guys. There are politicians in this country that want to decriminalize all drugs, like literally.
Yeah.
And when you look into the rationale behind it, I'm like, it actually makes sense.
It does.
Oh yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
It makes a ton of sense. It does. You can help slowly end the criminal aspect of it. You'll never totally get rid of it, of course, because even though alcohol is a legal product that you can buy just about anywhere, there's still times when, it's 2 a.m. and I'd like to get some beer. Call the bootlegger. There's always somebody you can call at that hour to get, alcohol. So there's always going to be an illegal element to it, but not like it currently is. If you just decriminalize everything, and then what was it, Portugal? They just said, everything's free. That's just let it go. And look what happened there. They got people who had serious addictions. They got into programs, got them clean, got them sober, got them back into the community.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I don't begrudge anybody who has an addiction. An addiction is an addiction. It controls you. You don't control it. Yeah. So why are we making criminals out of people who cannot control? That's just wrong. I know that's getting political here, but of course, yeah.
No, I think a huge issue behind that is the fact that people feel afraid of talking about it.
Yes, yeah.
And part of it. You criminalize it, and then if you were to decriminalize it, you open up the conversations, you open up the doorways to, here's the life I lived before I used this thing too.
Yes.
And then now it's, here's the life you could live now that you're not.
Exactly.
So I was going to be a child and youth counselor until I realized that all of the child and youth counseling places were inaccessible and all that.
Yeah.
However,
it's no bueno.
Now that I've seen that, all of my friends work and what they do and how they, like from that course, I've just seen so many people get the help they need.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, sure, it's only marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
marijuana, people say it's not a gateway drug, but it lets you into the life.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and lets you into a life of here's Coke.
yeah.
Here's whatever, and that sort of thing. I saw a sweater. I'm like, but at the end of the day, open it up, get rid of these problems that people have that they struggle with in silence.
Yeah, that's the worst part, right? Yeah.
So just
well, and I mean, again, we don't get political on the podcast, but it is 420, so it's a fair discussion. It's a fair discussion.
I mean, is that even political? That's that's what's best for the people. I guess that is political, but I mean, but it's healthcare, really.
Yes, it is. It is. It is healthcare. And one of the things, so I was watching a documentary, an interview with Seth, one of the Seths, the Canadian Seth, Rogan?
Oh,
Green?
Rogan.
Rogan? Seth Rogan? From Vancouver?
Maybe. I don't know. Seth Green is the short red-haired one, and Seth Rogen's the bigger guy.
Yeah, okay, so Seth Rogen. And because I was mixing them, I was thinking Joe Rogan, and I'm like, not that guy.
No.
Different spelling. So Seth Rogen was being interviewed by Ian Hanomansine, who was also known as Ian Handsome Man, because he's ridiculously good looking. And Seth Rogen was being interviewed, and he has a cannabis company in LA.
Yep.
And Ian was asking him, he goes, well, here in Canada it's legal. And he goes, but is it? He goes, well, what do you mean? Because there's cannabis stores like 20 feet away from where we are. And he goes, yeah, but here's the thing. If it was truly legal, if it was 100% legal, wouldn't I be able to just, be at a hockey game and just, watch a Vancouver Canucks game, and while you're getting a beer, I can get an edible. I'm like, oh, I never thought about that before.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he's right about it. He's right. Now, would you be able to smoke in the rink? Of course not. That's ridiculous. You can't smoke anywhere anymore, nor should you in an enclosed space.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm from the Bay Area. People smoke weed everywhere there.
Well, one of the issues I have with that is so I'm allergic to cannabis. I can't be around it. The smoke, it's really problematic for me. And in Ottawa, you can literally walk out. You can walk outside the front door of this pub, light up a joint, and nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody's going to say anything. You can go to a public park. You can smoke a joint. Nobody cares. Nobody says anything. Nobody prosecutes you. But if I open a can of beer, I've committed a crime. Now, here's the problem I have with that. I will not give you secondhand beer, but I'm definitely getting your secondhand smoke.
You're not going to give me secondhand beer? Fine. I see how it is.
I'll give you firsthand beer. Here you go. But secondhand beer? Yeah, I'm not going to take a sip and spit it on people, right? I'm not going to take a piss on people. And that's my problem with it. It's like we're being hypocritical. We're being hypocritical when it comes to that, because secondhand smoke affects me. It affects people around me, whether it's tobacco, cigar, or cannabis. It affects people. There's no secondhand beer.
I mean, in most of California, like you can't smoke cigarettes anywhere publicly, but you can usually spark a joint somewhere,
right? Which is kind of crazy.
But as you say, I mean, like Paul and I are old enough to remember when you could smoke everywhere, and you would go into some places and it would be smoke filled, like it was fucking ridiculous,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I hear some places in Europe are still like that, like the cleanest air you could get around was through that filter on your cigarette. It was like self-defense. I need something, hey, can I borrow a filter? Yeah. Okay. But, and I mean,
I flew to Geneva. I land in Geneva at the airport, and I'm getting my bags, and I'm visiting a friend for like 4 weeks. I was going to stay at and tour about the country, which I did. And I get off the plane, and I grab my bags, and I turn, and there's this 6'4", blonde-haired, blue-eyed, ridiculously good-looking man lighting up a cigarette in the terminal underneath a gigantic no-smoking sign. Didn't give a shit. Didn't care at all. And I'm like, I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and I just point to the sign, and he's like, So I remember I was in Charles de Gaulle, and I was flying home, getting ready to fly home, and they go, "Oh, there's a smoking section over there." And I walked to it, and I'm like, "Really?" It was 20-foot high ceilings, so about almost 4 meters for those of you who are doing the metric conversion.
Right.
4.5 meters. And it was the glass went up about 4 meters, and then the half meter to the ceiling, there was no glass. And the doorway to walk into the smoking section was about 12 feet wide, so 3 meters wide, 4 meters wide. And they weren't doors. It was just an open. So you walked into this area where there was a lot of smoke in there for sure, but the doors were open and the ceiling was open. And I'm like, what is even the point of that? They're just containing some smoke there for a little bit, but it would just waft out over the ceiling and waft out through the door. And I'm like, this is just ridiculous. No filters in there, by the way. No, like, how you used to go to, and you remember, you would walk into a restaurant or a bar and they would have what they called a smoke eater. It was a gigantic thing that hung from the ceiling, and it did a fairly decent job. Never good enough, but it did a fairly decent job. But I still, to this day, I think, we used to remember going to a restaurant, smoking or non-smoking, please.
Yep.
And the smoking section might be at the back of your table. So that was pointless. But the worst on a plane, smoking or non-smoking, in a pressurized tube at 35,000 feet.
Yep.
Really? What difference will that make? And people ask me why I have diminished lung capacity. I'm like, I don't know, because I grew up in the 70s.
Yeah, you like everywhere you go, you just be like, "Oh man, I just washed this."
Dude, there were times in the 80s and 90s when I was DJing, I would get home and I would peel off my clothes and I would put them in a bag and I would put them at the bottom of the hamper and then take a shower before I went to bed. And my eyes and my lungs and my nostrils were still burning, and I have never smoked because it was that bad. I do not miss those days.
I don't either. I'd have to look it up, but I remember when California put their smoking ban in effect for bars and stuff like that. And it was the mid 90s, and like a bunch of people like just bitched up and down about it. And then everybody's like, I can taste my food now.
I have friends who are heavy smokers who said, I have cut back on smoking because when I'm in the pub, I have to go outside to have a cigarette, number one. And number two, it's actually nice to come into the pub and they will admit, my sense of smell, my sense of taste is diminished, of course. But walking into the pub and I don't have to cut through a fog of blue air to get back to my seat. And I've heard that from so many
1995.
95. Yeah. I think it was around 97 here when they did that in the province. I'm trying to remember. It was around 97, I think. Like and you can't, like, outdoor patios, you can't smoke on either. And so that's ridiculous. And I thought so at first too. But then I remember sitting on a patio before that law came in, and then sitting on a patio after that law came in and went, yeah, I like it. I do.
Yeah.
Because, even though you're outside, it still wafts and drifts into you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, what? I've been places that are like bars and they'll have like smoking patios. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's that's the patio. If you want to go smoke, go there. Or if you want to go hang out with your friends who are smoking, consenting to the fact that everybody there except you is going to be smoking, go there. Yeah. And unless the girl was really cute, I didn't go there.
Yeah, I don't miss those days at all. I really don't.
No.
Well, and here in Ontario, at one point in time, patios were not a big thing.
Yeah.
Reason being, and bars were like, they used to be a dark, dingy place.
Yeah.
Patios, if you had a patio.
Ontario after 9 p.m. is still a dark, dingy place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there was a time when if you had a patio, you had to have a 4 meter tall fence that you could not see through. Because if people were walking by, God forbid that they saw you consuming alcohol, that might make them want to drink too.
Yeah.
And I always thought, wouldn't it, if you can't see what's behind the fence, wouldn't you want to get behind the fence more than if you could just see your friends?
Right.
That's my thought.
Or if you're walking by and the whole thing reeked of rum. you know,
Yeah.
or just smelled like a bunch of beer, you know. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going on over there. Oh yeah, that must be the place where they just spill all the beer. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
No one drinking though. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Nobody. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, see. Well,
Me and my
I do
wife,
remember
Morgan Fairchild.
Morgan Fairchild.
That was a good one.
That's an old SNL thing. John
Yep.
Lovitz from the 1980s. You got to be a certain age to know that one. That's
Tommy
okay. You can look
the
it up. It's
Liar.
fun.
They actually brought it back because he was making fun of George Santos.
I have YouTube. I've seen things.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen
True enough.
Eddie Murphy stand-ups and whatnot.
George
There you
Santos or Julio Marvelous. Julio Marvelous.
Billy Crystal.
Absolutely marvelous. Billy Crystal. Fernando. What was his surname? I can't remember. Just
I don't know that he ever had one. He's not like
I think it
my
was just
mama would
Fernando.
say to me, Fernando, darling, don't be a schnook. It's not how you feel, it's how you look. You look marvelous. I'm sure I don't do it, but, you know,
marvelous.
it's good stuff.
You remember he had the song, Julio Marvelous. Absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, it was actually like a hit. It got some play.
Yeah, it was a hit song.
Yeah.
And he had like
reminiscent of that Rico Suave song.
Very much so. But the funny thing was, he had this giant 1970s Steve Majors, Steve Austin, Lee Majors collar. Remember, he had the jacket with the giant collar and had a gray wig on, and he was, you look marvelous.
Oh man, you know, $6 Million Man. That was almost before my time. Well, you got a couple years on me, but you know,
I'll be 56 in July. So,
yeah.
$6 Million Man and the Fonz were like the biggest things on planet Earth when I was that age.
Yeah,
I still have my.
I'll be 51 in October.
Okay, so
I'll be 36 next year.
I could be your dad.
There you go. The funny thing about that is our friend Pinkerbell is the same age as you, only for whatever reason, like she got raised on all that old rerun stuff. So she's seen it more recently than I have, so she knows it better than I do, which is kind of funny because I'll be like, yeah, and in this, and she's like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, how you know this? You know.
YouTube, baby.
You know,
YouTube.
No, not even that. She was just a girl with some reruns in the 90s, you know. Nick at Night, I guess. Or whatever. So, you know.
I was at a few years back, I was at so I used to dragon boat competitively, and then I tore my right shoulder in 2017, and I'm not going back to it because I cannot ever go through that pain ever again.
Yeah, no, that's the worst rough surgery. What?
It's the worst.
Used to do what competitively?
Dragon boat.
Oh, okay.
What about Tesla boat? It drives itself, right?
Tesla boat. I don't know.
I have no idea what a dragon boat is, but I'm just going to roll with it.
So it's a boat with 22 people in it, and you all paddle in unison and race against each other. It's a really big sport.
Like crew.
Yeah, similar
rowing.
Similar to that.
Yeah, whatever.
It's from China.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, because there's a dragon's head on the boat. I almost said Japan, and I knew that was correct. And it's a huge sport. And there's a team here in Ottawa called the Galley Girls, who were world champions like 3 years in a row. They went to the World Games in I think 1 year they were in Singapore, and then Hong Kong, and then somewhere else, I can't remember. And they won 3 years in a row. And friends of mine were on that team that I'm still in touch with. I still see them. And I remember when they said they were going to the Worlds, I'm like, you know what are your chances? I mean, really, realistically. And then they won everything, and I went, okay, I'm really sorry. Like, no, we surprised ourselves, but yeah, you do owe me that. I'm like, no, I do owe you an apology. I did not expect them to place in the top 10, let alone win the gold medal, for Christ's sake, the World Cup. But the sport was a lot of fun, and I loved it, and I did it for a long time. So at the end of the season, we'd have a team party, and the one of my friends who I work with today from time to time, we work in the same place and I see him all the time. He was hosting the party, and the guy he's an accountant now, but he was doing the bookkeeping for the team. So, you pay fees for this, that, and the other thing. Younger fella. I'm not sure how much younger than he was from me at the time, but I remember saying something like that. I refuse to belong to any club that would have me as a member. And he goes,
yeah, right.
Hey, that's funny. How'd you come up with that? And I'm like, come up with that? That's Groucho Marx. Who? Groucho Marx. The Marx Brothers. Like Karl Marx? No!
People
the
still
Marx
know
Brothers.
Karl Marx, though. Was
Yeah.
that Groucho
Well, that was
Marx,
the
or was
plan.
that who was that other guy?
No, that was
God,
Groucho.
who was that?
That's
W.C.
the best
Fields.
taste.
W.C. Fields was kind of in that vein too. And then of course
Yeah, he
Wimpy
did.
from Popeye. I'd gladly
Yeah,
pay you
which
on
was based on
Tuesday for a
W.C.
hamburger today.
Yes. And then do you remember the bit from Monty Python where they had the Scottish poet who was wandering about the moors, and all of his poems were the same, and it's like it pissing rain, and he's got a coat on, and it's always dark, cloudy, and all of his poems were the same. If you could lend me $3 bob till next Wednesday, I'll pay you back. If you would buy me a dram of whiskey today, I'll pay you back tomorrow. It was like, that was all his poetry was, but it was really funny. And it was kind of based on Wimpy. I would gladly pay you tomorrow for a hamburger today, which was W.C. Fields. It's all relative. It's all related.
Yeah.
And Kyle's sitting here going, the fuck is W.C. Fields?
I'm taking notes. I'm going to look this up. This is great.
Yeah.
Groucho Marx, the Marx Brothers, Animal Crackers, some of the funniest stuff you'll ever.
Very similar guys, those two. But W.C. Fields, and one of his most famous ones is everything in moderation, including
moderation. That's
the thing that you have to realize about that is moderation. Moderation, yeah, okay, Douglas. But the thing is, moderation also means not drinking as much.
Mm-hmm.
Moderating, you know.
Yes.
The preacher preaches moderation. You should really be. Actually, I think it almost means like not drinking. You know. Oh, I'm gonna moderate. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think that temperance was not drinking, and moderate was just drink less.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know that once I got pulled over and the cop was like, "Have you been drinking?" And I said, "No, I'm teetotaling." And he's like, "Okay, have a good night." And I'm like, "Well, you're not going to ask me anything else?" He's like, "The way you said teetotaling, you haven't been drinking. Get the heck out of here."
I was literally.
It
was like, "Have you been drinking?" I've been moderating.
I've been moderating. Yes.
Okay, where's the fire? In the depths of your beautiful eyes, officer. Oh, sorry, speeding.
That'll definitely get you a ticket. Get you a ticket. Sexually harassing a police officer is never a good idea. Male, female, other.
I just thought my heart was racing.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Jesus Christ! What the?
Yeah. I can think of the most inappropriate.
Yeah, again, he's frozen mid-laugh with his head back. That's funny.
I don't know. I have this knack of thinking of like the probably most inappropriate thing to say given any situation. I could say that, but I'll say, "Oh, officer, was I speeding?" License.
Dude, I use a wheelchair. I have carte blanche to say the most inappropriate things.
He's got the license. He's got the license.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, you're already in a wheelchair. I mean, you know, what are they going to
do? Yeah.
Well, you ever see the show Crips?
No.
Oh, you did? Oh. So it was a
Speechless?
cartoon. Crips was like really offensive, but it was written, produced, directed, and animated by wheelchair-bound or wheelchair users.
I don't have a seatbelt. I'm not bound.
Okay, sorry, bro. Yeah.
I'm also on a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm correct me. I'm going to screw up, right? I'm going to screw up. But
wheelchair using
wheelchair using individuals. There you go. Sorry, I'm trying to be better. Wheelchair users and Crips. Yeah. It was animated and it was really offensive and really funny. Really funny.
Ever see Speechless?
No. What's that one about?
Oh, I don't know what is the medical condition. Hold on. But it's a family. Minnie Driver actually stars in it. It was a TV series for about 3 years. Oh darn!
I don't know. Speechless.
I'm
you're not.
trying to
That
think.
wasn't.
No, it was
what was the other one?
There we go.
Shameless.
JJ DeMeo has a more severe form of cerebral palsy than he does in real life in the show. But yeah, it's a family, and one of the kids has cerebral palsy, but he is like, out of all the kids, he's the coolest one, and he's the bad boy, and he's the he likes. So it's like there's just lots, all the stereotypes of like the like helpless or can't stand up for yourself or won't like this. That's not happening here. Like he's the one that makes stuff happen.
Right.
So it's just it's a brilliant show, but it has a lot of sort of like the ableist stuff. It just really skewers a lot of it to it, like this a lot from his perspective, because a lot of people do all the things right. You see someone in a wheelchair and you think, oh, like why are you talking to me louder? I'm in a wheelchair.
Right.
I'm not deaf. Right? It's like,
how many times I hit that. Oh my
do
goodness,
you need me to help you? It's like,
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thanks. Yeah.
I actually have a deaf creator that I follow, and she's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She had a teacher that's like, you need to what would she say? She's like, you need to I'm gonna ruin it, but she was like you need to hear this, and she's like, you need to listen, I'm deaf. I'm sure I ruined that, but
you need to listen.
Basically, yeah. She's like, you need to get better at listening, and she's like, deaf. You need to get better at listening too, because you're not hearing what I'm saying to you.
Well, I was watching Queer Eye, right? And there's Caramo, who is like the therapist type guy, if you will. And the individual on the show, the guy they were trying to help, for want of a better term. You've seen Queer Eye?
No.
Okay, it's on Netflix. It's actually a really uplifting show. And I'm watching the show, and the guy the particular guest they had on that day. So what they do, for those of you who are not familiar with Queer Eye, there used to be a show called Queer Eye for the straight guy. Now there's a show on Netflix called Queer Eye, and it's not for the straight guy. It's for anybody who needs help with their life. So they go in and they meet somebody, and they're like, okay, we're gonna remodel your house. We're gonna clean up your life. We're gonna teach you some fashion. We're gonna teach you how to cook. We're gonna teach you. And Caramo is the guy who talks about like your trauma. What is it? Your emotional issues. Why is your life the way it's been? And it's what it boils down to is they're a group of friends who get together and say, we nominate this person to be on the show because we know we love them, we care about them, they need some help. So you got the Fab five guys come in and help them out. And there was this one show where this young man who used to be a basketball player was in a bad accident, and now he's in a chair. He uses a chair, right? No big deal. And he's super upbeat, despite the fact that like his life has been shit. His mom died. His sister was murdered. It was just one thing after another. And then he got into a car accident, and now he has to use a chair. And he was like, no big deal. I can get around fine. So I'm watching the scene where he's talking with Caramo, and I'm watching this with Bridget, and I go,
another drink, just
do I say something? She goes, what? And I go, well, Caramo said, so I want you to walk away from this with a better life. And I'm like, is that okay to say? Because he can't walk anymore.
It's a turn of phrase, though.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
So, I mean, I don't say I'm going to wheel to a place. I say,
true, you walk there.
I'm going to walk there.
Yeah.
I've never. No, there are people who have corrected me and say, "Oh, you should say wheel there." Why?
Yeah.
It's the turn of phrase that everyone has used for the past forever. This is not something that we need to change, but there are plenty of other things that should change.
Okay. Well, and here, see, this is what I'm learning, right? Yeah. I know it's a turn of phrase, but I'm like, is it okay to use it? Is the question.
A turn of phrase that I upsets me would be, he uses a wheelchair, but.
Yeah.
No, it's he uses a wheelchair and.
Yeah.
This guy uses a wheelchair and he's a badass.
Yeah.
He's, he uses a wheelchair and he's got, he's a great uncle and he's, whatever.
He uses a wheelchair and he crowd surfs at concerts.
Right? Yeah.
Something, by the way, I've never done. I've never crowd surfed.
Oh, we're going to get you crowd surfing.
No. Bad knees, bad back. Like,
we can bind you to a wheelchair if it make you feel.
That might be a good idea, actually, because like you should see me getting out of bed and Bridget's just like, oh my god, I have degenerative discs in my lower back and calcium deposits. It's No,
I've got family with
no such problem though. So.
Goaltender knees.
Ooh,
right. Yep. So yeah. My dad, 82, and we have similar back issues, and he can't walk more than 30 meters without having to stop. My mom finally convinced him to get a motorized scooter, which he was dead set against. Like, Dad, it'll make your life easier. Just do it. So he did, and it folds down and can go right in the back of their vehicle, right? So this is great because he can still drive and everything, but like he walks a few feet and he's got to stop. Like he'll come over to visit me, and we'll come over here for a beer. Well, he can't even drink anymore.
Yep.
So but the thing is, he can get Partake, he can get Heineken, and he can get Guinness Zero. So he can still have a beer with me, which is great.
Yep.
But he'll park at my place. I live on Metcalf Street, a straight line from here. So it's 200 meters, maybe. And he'll park there, and I'll come down. I'll meet him at the front door, and we have to stop 3 or 4 times walking here to give you an idea of how much pain he's in, because his hips and his back are shot, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I have to look forward to in 30 years' time when I'm his age. Yeah. It's like, now, maybe through CRISPR, AI, DNA treatment, that might change. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could. But I know that I'm developing cataracts. In about 10 years' time, I'll need cataract surgery. It's done with lasers now. So the best part of that is I won't need glasses anymore. So that's kind of cool.
There you go.
Well, I won't need glasses all the time.
You'll have old man reading glasses.
Yes,
and now
absolutely.
Our vision's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, when my dad had his, like so he's had glasses since he was like 8 years old or 10 years old or whatever, and he's 82, and I think he had it about 7-8 years ago. So he was in his 70s, and he had cataract surgery, and now he doesn't technically need glasses, but he looks at himself in the mirror without glasses on, and we look at him, we don't recognize him. Like, he looks so different without them because he's always had them. So his prescription is so mild. They're barely reading glasses. But you get used to something your whole life. And he's like, he says, I don't feel right without them. I'm like, no, I get it. I completely understand that. I take mine off for this because even though they're anti-glare, they still glare. And because they're trifocals, if I'm not looking at the right section on the screen, it's out of focus anyway. So I'll be at work, and these have the yellow tint for the filter the blue light.
Yeah.
So because when I'm at work, I wear them. But right now, okay, if I go like this, that's good. If I go like that, that's out of focus. That's that. There we go. That's good. So then I have to tilt my head up the whole time. So I'm like, well, screw it. I'll just take them off, and everything will be in the same focus.
There we go. Everything's blurry for both of us. Let's go.
Yeah, everything's blurry for both of us.
Yeah.
So, but it's equally blurry instead of focus. Oh, there we are. No, stay there. Don't move. That's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not fun. And I have a friend of mine who is a doctor. She had laser surgery about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And she comes to meet me one night for dinner, and I'm like, why are you wearing glasses? She goes, yeah, laser surgery doesn't last forever. Your eyes are still going to do what they do. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, I wish I had known that at the time because it was very expensive when I got it done.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like $500 an eye.
Yeah, actually, the cataract surgery,
I don't want
the cataract surgery does last because they replace the lenses.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's the difference because they have to, right? Yeah, they replace the lenses.
So if I ever go in, if I ever need something, I just go, just give me cataract surgery.
Give me the cataract. Okay. Replace the lenses, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, my mom just got it done. She got the premium ones too, so she's good to go.
Oh yeah,
her vision's better than mine, and my vision's excellent. I only need reading glasses.
So for me, I just book it with my doctor. I go into the hospital and get it done. Currently it won't cost me a dime, but under the Ford government, that could change.
That's a whole yeah.
I have to step away for a moment because
you might want to get that done while you have the coverage.
Yeah, well, exactly. But here's the thing: my doctor's like, you don't need it for another 10 or 15 years. So they don't like to do it if it's not necessary. And I'm like, I get that. Unnecessary surgery, costing the taxpayer money. Let's not do that. So I'll be right back.
When I say my mom just got it done, she literally just got it done. She got one eye done in February and one eye done in mid-March. And she's worn contacts since she was like 16. Now she doesn't need them. And I'm not sure what the deal is, but she sprung for the premium lenses, so they're multifocal. And yeah, sure, her vision's amazing now. And I remember when my dad got his done, I took him, and I was in the waiting room, like when they got the patch off and stuff, and they had him go and look at so opposite
Could you repeat that?
he's looking at it in a mirror. Huh?
Could you repeat that?
Hold on.
Could you repeat that? You
Okay.
kind of well,
Okay, you know what? I'm by the truck. Hold on just a second. You guys talk for a sec. I'll be right back.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So, like, Doug Ford changed a whole bunch of stuff, and I mean, let's not totally get into that. But when you open up the ability for people to go out and get surgeries, for example, life changing, whether it's a cataract surgery or the new spina bifida surgery that they're doing for spina bifida is what I was born with. They're doing that. If you were to charge people and make it financially inaccessible for them to get these things, then you are totally, you're messing with the livelihoods of millions of people. And then in turn, you're messing with their ability to go out and have a job. And then they will have to live off of that sort of thing too. So are you back?
Hold on a second. I gotta be
I'm
right
back.
I'm being called.
Yeah, you know what? I actually have spina bifida too. My dad serving in Vietnam, the Agent Orange gave me spina bifida, and it gave him the prostate cancer that eventually killed him. Only I have it really mild, which is a plus and a minus, because if I'd had it really bad, well, I'd be in a wheelchair like you. But because of that, the government would give me like $2-3 grand a month. So, but at the same
Your
time,
government would give you $2 to $3 grand a month?
Yes, because I got
mine would not.
Well, did you get it because your father served in Vietnam?
He did not, no.
Okay. Yeah, because it's really weird, that Agent Orange crap. It did two specific things. It gave your male kids spina bifida, and it gave you prostate cancer. Really bad prostate cancer.
Interesting. Agent Orange and spina bifida.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
And they finally got to the point where, so if I'd had the what is it? It's the occluta is the bad one.
Occulta.
I think they call it occulta.
Occulta is the easy one. Occulta is the easy one.
Yeah, I have occulta, so no money for me.
No, myelomeningocele is the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, chronic back.
Yeah.
Chronic back pain is not fun either. I mean,
no, not at all.
No.
It sucks.
And that's the.
And I have had it.
You don't have people looking at you every 5 minutes going, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
I mean, that might make it easier for you.
Yeah. Right. No, I know. But like I was saying, for a couple grand a month, I'm good. But so what I was saying about the cataract surgeries. So my dad got out of the cataract surgery, and at the time he was like 78, I think. And so he's sitting in the chair over there. It looks like the dentist chair, and I'm sitting opposite him. And so he's looking at a mirror above me that's going back to the opposite side where they have the screen that has the eye chart on it. So he's looking at the eye chart in the screen, and he's reading lines that I can't read, even though he's twice as far away as I am, because he's looking into a mirror above my head. I'm like, wow, that's great, But he continued wearing the glasses because he's used to wearing glasses, But it was kind of funny because he had bifocals, and his bifocals are thick as hell down below, but now he's always looking down at everything because he's not looking through the bifocal portion of it. Cheers, y'all.
That's wild.
But actually, you know what? You might have heard of that. You might have heard of that Mr. Beast thing where Mr. Beast unblinded a bunch of people. That's what he did. He paid for cataract surgery for a ton of people.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Well, and I was talking to a friend about Mr. Beast, and he's like, the guy, it's like, well, a lot of stuff he does to promote his channel. I'm like, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
what?
It's
Is
a
he
nice
helping
circle.
people?
Yeah.
He's still helping
Yeah,
people.
That's the thing. I understand the plus and the minus side of people who go around with the phones and whatever, and they film the homeless and that sort of thing. I understand why you would think it's a bad thing.
Yes.
Absolutely. I also understand how they can make it lucrative, use and then reinvest all of that money. And I mean, Mr. Beast does it a different way. And if we can have everyone do it that way, and then go out and do that sort of thing, that would be awesome too.
Yeah.
He's probably a net positive, but it does suck that we live in this world where they're about to send $100 billion for bombs for here, there, and the other. Maybe a little bit of it is going for food aid for people that are starving. And let's not get political, but you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like someone brought this up again the other day. Like the premise of Breaking Bad only works in the U.S. Wait, he needed money for his chemotherapy, so he started selling drugs. And people in Europe are like, "What do you mean he needed money for chemotherapy? The state pays for that."
Yeah. Well, that's like Breaking Bad Canadian. You have cancer. Oh, that sucks.
Right.
Yeah, we'll start treatment Tuesday. Okay, that's the show. It's over.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
Literally, that's the show.
Well, imagine Breaking Bad Portugal. Yeah, we're gonna go sell some meth. How would you sell meth? Like, it's legal. I mean, you can get it at the corner store. What's the problem? If you need, or maybe it's like if you need meth, get a prescription from your doctor. I mean, I could go see my doctor on Tuesday, get my Adderall prescription re-upped.
Yeah.
I mean, the other side of that is Breaking Bad Canadian. People who are on disability.
Oh yeah,
and they keep calling it disability. I want to get them to change that name.
I know,
but I mean, I get $1,300 a month.
That's not livable.
It's
not
ridiculous. Yeah. Like you're barely able to get out of your parents' house if you're able to at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you probably qualify for MAID.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
I qualify for MAID, but I can't qualify for $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And again, you should check out Left of the Box. She covers that a lot because that's an option that they're giving her. It's not political.
This is not political. This is people's lives.
Yeah.
And when it comes back to it, it's like somebody says, "Well, 1,300 is good for doing nothing." I'm like, "Excuse me, doing nothing? Really?
Yeah.
That's horse shit, and it's not enough to survive on." And here's the other thing. What, as our friend has said time and time again, everyone is one catastrophic incident away from being on ODSP. Yep. Everyone in the province of Ontario.
And so here's the other thing. The thing that a lot of people don't realize about, and this is not political, but the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that there, for the grace of God go they. I mean, like people don't want to hear about privilege, but I mean, it's how you were born, and as far as we know, no one gets to choose their parents. You know what I mean? And if you do get to choose your parents, then you know what? That means that you as a rich kid are kind of a dick. Okay. So,
I have to say,
so there's two implications. One of which is that you're an asshole, and the other of which is that, you're lucky.
Kyle?
I would pick my mom every single time.
Yeah,
put it out there, 100%. There are people who are born with spoons in their mouth, silver spoons in their mouths, who never have to worry about financial anything at the time, who don't understand how to live.
No, at all.
They don't understand how to feel, and those people will grow up lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people, and there are people who grow up with silver spoons who absolutely have all of that, and lucky for them.
Yes, they're not a lot of them, but there are some.
But there are some. Yeah. And then there are people who grow up with nothing, and grow up with family that loves them and shows them all the ropes and does all the things with them and wants to spend time with them and wants to give them all the love and all the affection and whatever. And the people who wins in the end, it's the person who gets to have the life experience.
Yeah.
I was able to get down here today.
Yeah.
So I can't really complain. I'm going to a concert tonight.
Yeah.
I can't.
What are
really
you
complain,
going to see?
But
talk.
Talk. Oh yeah, talk.
Canadian artist, local artist, actually from Stittsville. There's this. If his big hit song was "Runaway to Mars," look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, I mean, I take transit, so it's like 2 hours across
Yeah.
town. So I mean, it might as well be in Montreal.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what's transit?
Oh,
The bus,
The
train.
bus, train. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
United
I'm
States.
in America. I'm in America. You know, I
Am I
actually
the
used
only
to
one
live in
that's
San
following
Francisco.
here?
San Francisco has good public transit, but most of America
Just
does
got it.
not.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, I just got it. So yeah, outside of New York, Chicago, and
Yeah.
maybe DC. I know LA is getting better, but New York,
Oh
Chicago,
no,
and
LA
maybe
is
DC.
horrible. LA is horrible.
Yeah.
You don't have a car in LA, you're homeless.
Yeah, pretty much.
Homeless people in LA have cars. They live in them.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I was at a truck stop, the only truck stop in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I couldn't find a spot for my truck because all of the truck spots were double parked with cars that people live in.
Yeah.
And these weren't homeless. I mean, they may have been homeless, but they were people that worked in Silicon Valley and that either weren't going to commute all the way home, every
couldn't
day.
afford to rent.
I mean, obviously they couldn't afford to live in that area. I mean, it's $2.7 million for a shack there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are communities in Oakland that you can't afford to live in that you would get shot in.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wild,
Pretty
wicked, crazy stuff. It's a wild, wicked,
Wild
crazy
stuff.
world. Wild,
Yeah,
it's
there
a
you
wild,
go. He was going to the same
wicked,
place.
crazy. Yeah, I was doing my Johnny Carson there. That is
Yep.
some wild, wicked stuff. That's
Wild
wild.
stuff.
Really, that's some wild stuff. So I think
For
we should
those of
wrap
you that
her.
are younger, Johnny Carson.
did the job that what's his name does.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Thank you. I was going to say Jimmy Kimmel, but it's the
I was
same
gonna say Jay
job.
Leno, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up. It's 6:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in the nation's capital of Ottawa, Canada, and there is the NHL playoffs start in 2 hours. So I imagine the bar's going to fill up quickly, and it takes me an hour to tear this down.
The Boston series is already over, so I mean.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you
The
very
Celtics
much.
are a good team this year.
Well, actually, I think Boston will win round one. I know Toronto Dan is going like, no, Toronto in 6. And I'm like, Creek Pete was on earlier and he was like, no, Boston's had Toronto's number all season. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. I think Boston's going to win this round. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe Toronto's just been rope-a-doping them.
Our two favorite teams are the Ottawa Senators and whoever is playing Toronto.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, let's wrap this up. We're gonna put a bow on this show for today.
Yeah,
I know it changed. We were supposed to be somewhere else, and things happened, but we were able to put a show on for you, despite the technical difficulties. We appreciate each and every one of you fine, beautiful people who come out, hang with us online, join us in the chat. I know there's a lot of people watching on the Twitter. Thanks for joining us. And if you're on the Twitter and you want to catch us on the YouTube, you can scan the code that is just to the right of my noggin, and that'll take you to our YouTube channel where you can join in the Damn Fam chat, which is, as Mr. Beaver would tell you, the best damn fam on podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get that right, sir? Did I get it right?
Best damn
Close?
fam in all of podcasting.
Sorry, all of
we still need to get our open source site chat membership thing going. I love the YouTube and all those other guys, but they don't need to be taking more of our people's money than they already are.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. I don't
like
know
idea.
about that, but I'm happy to be educated.
Well, it's an open source, which means YouTube doesn't get a share.
Okay.
That's what it boils down to. Yeah.
Basically.
It'll take a little while to put that together because this is already like the biggest format there is. There's other services out there, but this is the one that reaches the most people. So, we're not big enough to make a move yet.
Well, I mean, so that's why I say open source, because there's a lot of us that need it. You know what I mean? There's me, there's you, there's Jake, there's the Letter Hack. All those people are, like 50% of every super chat they get, 50% of every membership they get. All that stuff goes to those guys. And, especially those union busting mofos. I mean, damn, these guys wanted to unionize. They went, and we didn't renew your contract. I know we've renewed your contract 10 times straight, but, we weren't required to.
So we didn't.
Okay, I've said my piece.
All right, brother.
Bye,
Thanks for
y'all.
coming out. Your
so
time.
much.
You
Thanks for
take
having
care.
me.
We'll,
Have a great
Cheers,
day.
everybody. Happy 420.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
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 Take care.
Oh, that was good. That was fun. It was a good time. I really enjoyed everybody who was able to make it out today and hang out and join us in the chat. And again, I know it was a last minute change. We were supposed to go on at 4 p.m. We moved it ahead 2 hours. We were supposed to have some live music. Things logistically didn't work out. Sometimes that's how life goes, but you roll with the punches. We were able to do that today. And next month in May, we will do a live event from Meow. That's hot. It's going to start later in the evening. We will do maybe an hour and change-ish before the show of our typical thing. And then we're going to live stream some musical artists who are going to play. And it's going to be interesting because we've not done this before. So hopefully the tech works out. Hopefully the audio works out. Even though it is my field of expertise, sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to. So fingers crossed everything works when we do this again next month. But thanks for coming out, everybody. Mr. Beaver, please take the reins if you would, good sir.
All right, kids and cubs, that's the end of this episode of our monthly True North Eager Beaver PubCast, live from
The Lieutenant's Pump at 361 Elgin Street in beautiful downtown Ottawa.
Thank you so very much. We hope that you love listening to us because we love making this for you. And remember, sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. And you have the mouths from which we want the word to come. So please tell all of your peeps and poops all about us. Thank you so very much. We really appreciate that. Thank you to all our guests that dropped by. Thank you to Creek Pete. Thank you to the anti-corporatist. And of course, thank you to Mademoiselle Fox and Super Kyle. Da, 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 da. I am so sad I was not able to get there today because had I known you would have come, I would have moved a mountain. I would have.
We'll make it happen.
I so
Soon
can't wait
we
to
will.
meet you.
Same.
Kicking myself. All right. So that's all Sharon and Karen stuff. If you do not want to miss an episode, you don't have to. Thank you to the Ray Girl who has sponsored our pod page. The QR code that had just disappeared. There it is again, right there. If you scan that, if you're watching, that'll bring you to our pod page. That's pod page. Sorry.
You okay?
Pardon me. That's podpage.com/the True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words. And when you click there, when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, we'll slide right into your box. And if you would like to make sure that you would help us in any other way, then you can make like Kit Elaine and go to the True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube page, where we have 3 buttons for you to do what you let your freak flags fly there. Lick them, flick them, like, share, subscribe. When you press our buttons, you make us very, 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 very happy. And if you would like to encourage us to do more because you love this product, you like us, sometimes you even feel sorry for us because, well, we do take pity. That QR code to which Mr. Grizzly's pointed up right there, that brings you to the Emergency Hydration Fund here at the Beaver Lodge, where our friends Caesar Hot Chocolate, Coffee, and Guinness, he's a great lad, that one, help us write, produce, market, and do everything to get this show that we hope you love. If you happen to be watching us, thank you for the engagement. So,
Thanks for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so if you click that, if you scan that QR code or go to our coffee page, that's coffee, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase letters, all in one word. You can leave a couple of toonies and loonies there for us. We'd appreciate that very much. Everything goes back into the show, of course. But yes, we love it when we get some love. If you want to write to us, we love to hear from you. TrueNorthEagerBeaver@gmail.com. We read everything, so thank you. If you leave comments in the chats and all that kind of stuff, it means a lot. So thank you very much. And if you happen to be listening to us on Apple Podcasts, this episode you won't because these are exclusive on our YouTube page. But if you are watching and follow our regular show and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, stars and reviews really help us out. Apparently, they boost the algorithm somehow. So,
yep.
Thank you very much. Leave us one if you have some time.
The more reviews you leave us, the more people will be tuned into and turned on to us. So, yeah, how it works is if you give us 5 stars and you give us a thumbs up and a good review, Apple, oddly enough, the way the algo works is it promotes us to more people. Science magic stuff. I don't know, man.
I know. I clicky the thingy magic things. The gremlins would like run around in
There
the
you
wheel
go.
and stuff happen. That's how they
There you
explained
go.
it to me. And then the system of tubes connect.
I love that rationale.
Anyway.
That's
Works for me.
That's how they explained it to me. So,
Okay.
hey, science. So yes, please. We like that very much because this is all PubCast, all pub chat, and no politics. No, because democracy is something that you do moment. Just enjoy the weekend.
Yeah. Just
You've
enjoy
earned
the
it.
weekend.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself.
No words of wisdom
You're
on a
worth it.
Saturday. There's no words of wisdom. There's just like, enjoy
You
the
should
rest of your
never be engaging in wisdom on a Saturday.
No, that's the last thing you should do.
Saturdays are not for wisdom.
No, Saturdays are for after you get all your chores out of the way in the morning, the rest of the day is for you to enjoy. Just enjoy your weekend as much as you possibly can. And for those of you who do this 420 thing, I hope you enjoy that. Do you stand around a tree and sing songs? I don't know how that works.
Don't token drive.
Okay. All right. Let's roll on out of here.
All right, Ms. Kyle, before we go, do you have something you want to say to the lovely people that have joined us today?
absolutely. Everyone, never forget. There's no such thing as can't.
No such thing as can't.
Have a wonderful day.
All righty.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Enjoy the hockey game if you're watching it. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your families. We'll see you on Monday.